Oh, well, how we doing, fellas? Shibbida-bip-dee-dee. Bro, Fed roasting. Who would have thought? Fed roasting. It was there the entire time. Could do a series on Fed roasting with this guy that I have here. My word! Now, some of you may know him as Tim Hale. But when someone's lying, he becomes Tim Hale no! Because this man brings receipts. Okay? Hell hath no fury like a Tim Hale scorned. Okay? The man did his time unjustly, like many people on J6. Is way too many stories for this one stream. I talked to him last night for a few hours. We did an off-air stream essentially last night. Boy, oh boy! This is just gonna be a shit show, fellas. Okay? It's too spurgin. You love to see it, you hate to see it. It's the only way to do it. There's too many things to cover. And there's gonna be a focal point tonight of a certain Fed, okay? Now, I don't know if you guys know what A-logging is, okay? A-logging is what I do to James Lindsay, right? You find a lot of research on a person to trash him, make fun of him, right? The A-logging that Tim Hale has done on Jake Lang, like I would say I've done the most A-logging on James Lindsay, and I would say 100 times that on Jake Lang has been done by Tim Hale. So let me bring him up right now. Timmy, baby, how in fact are you doing?
Oh, hello, fellow domestic extremists. Are we up to any plots today? Shut it down. Oh, thanks for having me, Ardy. And yeah, for those who don't know, I am to Jake Lang what 50 Cent is to Diddy. And
you ain't kidding.
No, I ain't.
Lordy Lord. So we'll probably keep dipping back into your Jan 6th past, okay? But you know, some sort of overview as to Jan 6th, you know, why you were there that day, blah 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 blah, and then as quickly as possible, a short overview of being arrested, prison, and whatnot. And then probably, I guess, end it with how things are going now with people are getting restitution and then prosecutions that you're hoping for and whatnot, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. I look forward to this meritorious occasion.
So if you want to go through, you know, I don't know how to begin things. I don't have Fist here to help to hold my hand right now. So how was January 6th? Did you have a good time?
In the beginning, there was the cube. So, yeah, all right, J6. So I went to the Capitol. You could say I went inside the Capitol.
I could say that.
You could. Some cameras might say that too. I might say that too if my roommate was recording me on a wire. Anyway, that happened.
Yep, we're not going to derail just yet, okay? To how they put a wire on your roommate.
Very friendly behavior.
Mind you, everything he says, he has receipts and posts on X4, okay? It's ridiculous. I'm sorry, continue.
No, I went to the Capitol on January 6th, like I think most people, you know, for the same reason I think most people did, just to hear his speech. I did not know there was going to be any protest at the Capitol at all. Up the road, I went there. A riot ensued because there were a bunch of federal informants in the crowd trying to incite violence between the police and protesters. There were people on bullhorns and provocateurs tearing down like these bike rack perimeters around the Capitol grounds. Mm-hmm. So people like me didn't know there was a restricted area. So I showed up a half hour after this stuff gets torn down. And that's why that's why January 6th actually happens. So I'm sure nobody really believes the insurrection bullshit narrative, but for anybody in your audience who's not familiar, mm-hmm. January 6th was 100% a Fed psyop. We know the names of FBI agents in the crowd. So it was a setup, and
When
that's
was
what
that
happened.
information like officially released?
Sporadically, not all of it was officially released. Some of it had to be done
Okay.
by investigative research. Some defendants had to leak some of this information. Um, I'm gonna expose you. I'm gonna expose you too. Expose you. I'm gonna do
He's
it.
the Fed hunter, dude.
I'm, I'm, was it like remember Team America? If you don't believe me, I'll put a jihad on you too.
So some things happen, and at what point did you go, oh, they're looking for me? Because I believe like you left that day, and you're like, well, that was a little rowdy.
I pretty much knew as soon as I got home. I was just like, this got a little out of hand, because I immediately, on the drive back from DC to Jersey, I'm on the highway. I just see like lines of squad cars going the other direction towards the Capitol. I'm like, oh, I wonder where they're going. I know. The news was immediately promoting insurrection this, insurrection that, and I'm like, well, that's an interesting term for a riot incited by federal informants and police brutality. So, but yeah, the news was like, oh, these people are going to get 20 years in prison. They were putting that out immediately. And I was just like, yeah, the Army's probably not going to like that, I guess.
Yeah.
So
fair enough. So from Bad Chad 3, sadly, Jake Lang is the only alpha white man I've seen online other than Gypsy Crusader or Handsome Truth. Now, it's incredible that you would like Gypsy Crusader and Handsome Truth and call Jake Lang a white man, but I guess we'll cover that a little bit later on.
Yeah, we'll leave an asterisk there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, after J6, it was just like an immediate manhunt. I was one of the first arrests, January 15th. So about a week after, and they called it the shock and awe campaign. It was attorney Matthew Graves out of the Department of Justice. So they wanted to make an example out of supposed right-wing dissidents. So
funny how that works. How they don't really look for commies, right? But then they'll assume that right-wingers are white supremacists.
Yeah, and it's really interesting how quickly they can find you too. But I'm sure that spurging out on the internet doesn't put you on like some sort of watch list or anything.
Well, especially when you're asking questions like, well, if we're not going to resort to violence, then what else are we going to do? Whenever someone asks that, voting, obviously, you say voting and they go, oh, yeah, we can vote. They obviously accept that as an answer, right?
Okay. I want to
protesting as an answer.
I've immediately
dialogue tree so many times.
I immediately want to derail this just to fucking just to rant at the person who called him an alpha male, whether that was facetious or not. I'm so angry.
I know. We'll get there. So then let's hop on over to jolly old prison. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So you were in prison for how long?
Prison a year, but I was incarcerated. Yeah. Overall, I was locked up for 3 years.
Right. And under what charges?
The main charge I had, my felony charge, was something called obstruction of an official proceeding.
Of course. Those meetings are so important, but whenever the left hops in and literally does sit-downs in government preventing a proceeding, that's always fine. Curious how you found yourself in that predicament.
Well, they revived an Enron era scandal charge. There was this charge from the 80s called tampering with a witness. In 2003, they put a substatute in there after Enron that dealt with destruction of documents. You can see how there's a logical nexus between say, tampering with a witness versus tampering with documentary evidence. Okay, sure. This is about Enron, though. It's about destruction of documents. They said that by interfering with the joint session of Congress, that this was obstructing an official proceeding. Totally not the context of that statute, which is why in 2004, in June of 2024, it was overturned by the Supreme Court. I ended up beating my case on appeal. I had to serve my sentence, of course, but I ended up winning because the statute was used in an overly broad way. So,
and then we have a question of solitary confinement.
solitary confinement is like a
It's how it's
wife
defined, right?
who yeah, it's a wife. Solitary confinement is typically when you're isolated without access to anything outside of your cell.
Mm-hmm.
So the time can vary, but like 2 hours out of your cell a day can be considered solitary confinement. 1 hour out of your cell can be solitary, and then 24 hours locked up would be considered solitary. So from 2021 till 2022,
Yeah.
you were pretty much in your cell for 23 hours a day.
Right.
So, and they of course they used COVID as a reason for that. So keep in mind, it's Washington D.C. You know,
right.
This worse than any blue state.
The chat's not letting me down right now. So, did you go inside?
I did indeed. I was there for 40 minutes.
Yep. And what'd you do in there? Did you smear poop on the walls? Did you assault police officers? Did you, take a possession of Nancy Pelosi's, which is the highest offense you can do in there?
I slapped Chuck Schumer in the pee-pee. That's where they got the cheese for his frozen burgers he was grilling. That's disgusting. No, I just wandered around the building.
Right.
I went into an area.
A lot of wanderers.
Yeah, you could call me a jogger. I was in the crypt taking selfies with statues.
Yeah.
I went into what's called the Capitol Visitor Center, and I danced in there, and I was just goofing around pretty much. And then the cops came in, and they were like, "Hey, yeah, you guys got to go," and they escorted us out.
So this is good. This might be a pretty fun night because you were just goofing around, and you know what? Absolute fucking pathetic pussies. And don't worry, weak white men. Soon you will have no choice. This stream is made for this person, by the way. Soon you will have no choice but to actually get off your weak ass and actually do something. But then it'll be too. Who is stopping this guy from doing anything? Do you see what I'm saying? How this is just encouraging other people. Like on one hand, we give politicians shit for like sending other people overseas, or for like leftists that like encourage other people's children to go on the streets. And then it's like, bro, like if you want to go and organize something, I can't stop you from doing it. Yeah, I just don't. This stream is made for people like this. Like we used to call this Fed posting, didn't we? Isn't that what we used to call it? But now no one's calling it Fed posting.
It's the non-Hispanic version of bad hombre. He's bad Chad.
Ay, Dios mío, diablo coño, tigre. What are they doing over here?
Si se pueda. Hey, Chad, go do something, Chad. Go ahead. It's like the meme with the stick. Come on, do something.
Right.
And he's spurging in the chats where he keeps going like, well, if they're not, if he's not alpha, who is he? Well, I mean, I don't know a lot of alphas who hit up 15-year-old girls. So.
You're messing with the wrong hombre if you're trying to hype Jake Lang. So let's get scooting. So now that you're out, now that there's more attention on it, now that some things are being done, what are some positive things being done to rectify the treatment of, aside from the pardon, right?
Yeah.
What are some things that are in the works, or some things that have already been done?
The positive signs have been that the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys were not all initially pardoned. They got their charges commuted, but they weren't pardoned. So they just recently had their convictions for seditious conspiracy vacated, which is good because they can now save those for Nick Fuentes. Just kidding. But the other thing I think is that we've seen sort of a move with certain individuals in the Department of Justice that they're more palatable to restitution for January 6ers. I have contacts in the administration. I'm not going to, put everything out there, but there are good people in there who are trying to make things right. It's just, unfortunately, there are also people who are just trying to move on because they don't want.
We live in a democracy where there's two sides constantly like a pit of snakes fighting for power, Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's people don't realize, like, there's a lot of drama and shit behind the scenes in politics. It's not just, hit pieces from anonymous sources in the Washington Post or whatever. There really are a bunch of factions and stuff within the administration fighting over dumb shit.
It's really easy and quick for the left to do things like open the border, but it's really difficult, and the system gets gunked up for the right to try and do things, I've noticed.
Yeah, well, it's funny. You can just do things. So
Right?
as soon as Pam Bondi leaves, now fairly quickly we were able to get pardons for the seditious 12, as they're called.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, hopefully with some shakeups in the Justice Department, there is going to be a little more done. But again, I always say that I could die without a penny in my pocket or a pot to piss in, as long as the truth came out about J6. I want a fucking list of all the informants who fucked us. That's what I fucking want. But we'll see if that ever happens.
Well, let's get into it, shall we? There's a reason why we're both here, right? Now, I had an interaction on X with a fella that contributes to the stream, okay? So I have no similar. I'm going to just keep comparing myself to you in a huge act of hubris that makes no sense. But I get what you're saying, minus all of the things that happened to you. But I agree with what you're saying in terms of an ethic, right? A principle. And so I had seen some comments being made around enacting violence, unironically. Used to call it Fed posting. No one's really calling it that now. And now I'm starting to see a blend of things that used to be called Fed posting that people are like, yes, we agree with that. Which, you have to understand, I don't forget 2017. I don't forget 2019. This motherfucker doesn't forget 2020. Things... I know that the pendulum is swinging to the right now, okay? It won't always be that way. They dig up shit on motherfuckers from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, okay? There's people close to my community that are like, yeah, well, what else are we going to do? So let me walk us through this as to how Tim and I came to do the stream right now. So I says on X, sorry if you forgot how Gavin told Proud Boys to not go to Charlottesville because it was a trap. Same with January 6th. Not a lot of people know that Gavin McGinnis was like, Proud Boys, don't go. It's a honeypot. It's a trap. Don't go. Gavin, as goyed up as he is right now, okay? As pro-moo as he is right now, okay? The man has a sniffer for feds, okay? If feds infiltrate in real life, then they're in all of your online spaces. Go ahead and Fed post about white violent revolution. Try that shit in my community. And then we have a fella say, so what's your solution to them killing and beating white people and getting away with slaps on the wrist, mutilating our children, using the government against us, allowing in hordes of savages to rape our women, etc., etc. Vote for better politicians? Well, voting seems off the table. Yeah, sure, it worked out great. Oh, maybe have a discussion and talk about it. Okay. Any political solution verbally seems off the table. Yeah, and what's that accomplished in the past few decades? A sense of feeling vindicated, talking to others as shit continues to get worse around us. Well, okay. So what's my solution? Well, what's your solution? I've been down this dialogue tree, and this used to be an allusion to these are steps toward Fed posting. Of so what are we going to do? And it's not talk about it here if you're being serious about doing something. That's first of all. Second of all, let's play it. Gavin always used to do this. Let's play it out in reality. Okay, do whatever you're thinking the solution is in your head. Then what? Isn't this just French Revolution stuff? And then do you then what do you do? There's no answer. And that's why it feels like Fed posting. Because it's just the answer is senseless violence, which is exactly what Jake Lang is on the street saying. This mirrors exactly what Jake Lang is saying. And so I said, go to church and make babies. Very safe, good answer, right? Since voting was taken off the table for me. Discussing it was taken off the table for me. So I'm like, okay, what else do we have? It's going to be a multi-generational fight. I'm a pro-natalist. All you can really do, right, is make babies and instill them values that are, I would say, moo-critical Christian values into your offspring. Because even if it's a bunch of single guys right now winning with nothing that they're passing down, how long does that last for? It's a war of attrition. And then this person comes in and goes, so nothing? Just go to church and make more kids for Pakistanis to rape? And I'm like, what? I feel like I'm really pigeonholed into a certain answer right now, don't we think?
So what? You just want to let them rape my dog? Is that it?
Like, what, I'm seeing this, and it's in my community, and I'm just like, oh, but they're not saying, right? And they're not going to be the ones to go out and do it, right? But it's putting that out there, right? Which just, listen, I'm already probably going to pay for what I'm saying on the internet in 5 years, okay? Believe it or not, I am looking ahead. But it doesn't do anything positive to get, like, inarticulately frustrated and start implying... when I say implying violence, I normally just want to say Fed posting, but apparently Fed posting means nothing now. And I'm like, I said go to church and make babies. What do you... I want a better... If you're looking to fucking cartoon boogerman on the internet to decide what your next fucking political move is, you're fucked, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Honestly. What do you want from me? And then, so, you know, and then it just keeps going. Only lasts one generation, go to church. Everything I'm saying isn't good enough. It just really seems like only one answer is acceptable. Does it feel like that to you at all so far in the dialogue?
Yeah, a little bit.
Right? I mean, yeah. What would you say if you were in my shoes to appease this person that keeps going, they're fucking raping, killing, stinking?
See, when they always when they pose leading questions like that, I try to just defer to the I just try to turn it around and defer to the Socratic method and try to get them to say what they're getting at instead of trying to put words in my mouth, get them to actually commit to something.
Sure. I know, but these people are in my community. I don't want them saying that.
Well,
what kind of tricky spot, don't you think? Where I'm like,
it's a little conundrum.
What are you doing over here? But there's no
obligatory disavow.
And so is right. So like, but yes, modern feminized Christianity. So Christianity's not good enough. God will take care of everything. And it's like, so he talked about warrior cultures. And I'm like, warrior cultures? What, like Jake Lang? What are these warrior cultures that the whites have right now? There's like Patriot Front and there's Return to the Land that are very non-violent. So he's bringing up the idea of a white militia, which we couldn't do in 2017, couldn't do in 2020, and I'm glad. Because if this is what we're doing with free speech, it's exactly what they want. So then we have home math, and this is where Tim Hale's going to come in here, right? Because home math says we can get rid of the filth anytime we want. We just need to get a nationwide January 6th going. That should be everyone's only focus. Now, Tim, I know that I've said like Fed posting, right? Can you even say a more Fed posting thing than that at this point, knowing now how January 6th went?
I even get this with some J6ers, and it's just like, you can't have it both ways. You can't be both a victim of entrapment and also a revolutionary. It's one or the other. You either were set up or you did the thing they said. And it's just like, it's so weird because in a way with this Fed posting he's doing, he's also co-signing on the insurrection narrative, which is I'm not a fan of that. I don't know why.
Okay, so we'll and this is the issue, is that they're doing like online games, right? You've actually been put through the system, the feds. You've actually been through it. And so I don't think like these people realize like you're just sending other people on the street to go and do this. So for example, so I say, yeah, that's what we'll do. This isn't cope at all. Totally not a Fed post. We all remember how well January 6th went for people. Here's the plan, everyone. Home math will stay at home and you go and incur the risk of another January 6th. And then I'm like, somehow there's pushback on this. I'm like, what is going on right now? He goes, calling things Fed posting is in fact Fed posting. And I said, calling it experimenting in college is still in fact gay. Now I can't call anything. Now I can't even call it Fed posting. I can't call it Fed posting. We can't vote. We can't even talk about it. We can't go to church. We can't have kids. What are we left with? Like, dude, this is really... I understand the frustration, right? But I'm being pigeonholed into violence right now. But there's never an answer. So I said direct calls to right-wingers collectively enacting political violence nationwide is Jake Lang levels of Fed posting. Now, here's the issue. Here's where I realize not everyone knows who Jake Lang is. I'd like to change that tonight, right? I'm like, okay, this needs to mean something. I know too much about this person. No, I'm sorry. You know too much about this person. I knew about this person, and that doesn't mean anything to anybody. And then Tim hops in. He's like, it's bizarre to me that after January 6th, after PatCon, after Whitmer, after Boogaloo Boys, after Patriot Front, after Oath Keepers, which could be several streams of him talking about that, by the way, people still think the feds don't infiltrate everything, if not establish things for people to incriminate themselves. The attempt to downplay Fed entrapment is the worst form of enabling. Especially like when you say Fed entrapment, like January 6th was just invoked. It's like the most open and clear-cut case in modern history that we have of Fed entrapment. Right. So you're not just saying Fed entrapment all loosey-goosey, right?
No. And it's funny because like you say, yeah, each one of those different things could be a stream. Anytime I mention any of them in the light of, this was a psyop or there were informants here, I'll get exactly this conversation. Oh, you're just coping. You're just Fed jacketing. They're not Feds. I was entrapped at the Capitol. Somebody tried to get me to commit crimes on January 6th, and he turned out to be an informant with Patriot Front. Uh-huh. So people always say Patriot Fronts. They're not. I'm like, they got Feds. There are redacted documents showing how heavily redacted the Fed's files on Patriot Front are. There are definitely informants in Patriot Front.
Also, I also want to show people like the types of people that do certain levels of entrapment. So yeah. We're gonna go into Jake Lang, and that guy goes out of his way. Okay. Oh, yeah. There's people that really like to lie a lot, and Feds love those guys, especially if they have not a very good past, right?
That's one way to put it.
Yeah. So then he says, so do nothing ever. So do nothing. So we have two options. We have what he's implying and not saying, or we have so do nothing, because backlash and watch as our civilization dies as we let our enemies beat and kill us, because fighting back might be bad. Fighting back how? Who's stopping you from doing anything? Why are you trying to get me to do something over here? That's what makes it feel weird.
Yeah.
And then Tim says, nobody said do nothing. They said don't help the Feds entrap thousands, if not millions of people by doing the dumbest shit possible with the worst track record available.
I think that's a fair assessment.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. Let's dip our toe in. You know what? He's making a good point. What should we do? All right. I don't have any answers. Okay. Now this guy might have some answers. So what should we do? Well, Waffle, you could possibly do this.
President Trump, we support you. We support ICE. Our country was made for Americans, not for Somalis.
Panting.
Pro-ICE, baby. America first, America only. We'll see you here February 7th, Saturday, 12.
Waffle, he's got a call to action, okay? I mean, there's dates and times that you can show up and fight back if you wanted to, right? You don't have to at least encourage others to go and join a group already instead of just, I don't know, a bunch of individuals like January 6th.
I'm fucking dying because you can hear the panting. Like the fat bitch going up the stairs.
The whimpering.
It's just...
Yeah, and he didn't look very manly as he was doing it.
No.
Now, I do remember someone saying that he's a white man, okay? And he does. Now, this guy, I don't know if you know, but Tim knows this guy because this man was also arrested, also went to prison for being a January 6th insurrectionist. And were you like in the same building? Were you like down the hall from him?
No, I was in a completely different area. I was just walking inside the building. He went into an area.
No. No, I'm sorry. My mistake. In prison.
Oh, yeah, we were. Yeah, he was my cellmate when we first got picked up by the marshals, the U.S. Marshals, and then
interesting.
And then we were housed together in the D.C. jail for over a year. That was fun.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. Now, he says he fights for the white race. Actually, let me pull this up. So, now this is very cool and edgy what he's saying, okay?
Go back, AIPAC. Go back. That's
Now, we'll notice he's starting off with the old Hale mustache man. Now he's at AIPAC headquarters, okay?
Go back, AIPAC. Go back. That's the AIPAC building right there. White Christian men are not going to sit around while you turn our children into a bunch of nigger lovers.
Well, you turn our children into a bunch of N-word lovers. Now, so many fellows like, yeah, see, that's awesome. Like, this guy rules. This guy rules. This guy is the fediest fed that ever fucking fedded, dude. Okay? And I think that Tim is almost biting his tongue off, trying to hold in all that he has on him. Let me work our way through it.
We're going the wrong way. Where are we going?
Oh, this guy is great too on the right. What's his name? Jaden Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, now this is like pure sociopathy. They love being out in public. They love doing this. They love being in dangerous situations. It's the perfect people. They're career scam artists, so it's easy to get dirt on them.
Simple. I was just showing them the AIPAC building on my stream. But
Guys, we'll see you in Minnesota.
Here it is. Here's the draw. Why? What? This guy doesn't rule at all. Here's the draw. He's saying all the edgy things, right? He's out and saying it in public. What? That guy's awesome. He's doing what needs to be done.
January 17th.
And again, here's the call to action. So you'll see these short clips from these guys of edgy, cool thing on the internet that they're doing in public, and then saying, hey, everyone, anyone, come and join us. They're not doing this on a back channel to set it up, right? They're just, hey, anybody on the internet, come and show up. Hey, that's better than my solution of going to church and having kids, right? Don't procreate. Listen to this fucking guy without knowing anything he's saying, without knowing anything about him. Go and randomly, you could do that. That could be a solution, right?
Our next extremist gathering will be next Tuesday at 7.
God, dude.
Yeah, we're going to be having a protest in front of AIPAC right down the street from the FBI field office in D.C. Come on down. You won't end up on a list or anything.
It do be like that, though.
It do.
Okay, let me pull up his. I think I have it in here. So, what you should know about this guy, okay? And people are fooled by him being like, "Oh, I'm pro-white. Oh, I'm doing this for the whites," and then the whites go, "Yeah, he's doing it for the whites." He's a moo. Now, he kissed the wall. Very much a moo, born a moo, from a mooish family. But it's okay because what he set what the Talmud on fire or something, the Torah on fire, and be like, I'm now against the moos. Right? You did that whole thing?
Yeah.
Now, can you explain to me how you have his handwriting writing these things down? Now, one says, I know you don't like Israel, but we have to have their backs. It's imperative, and we should have Israel and Hong Kong's back, or our enemies will grow stronger. Now, how do you have this?
How indeed. So when we were locked up in solitary, one of the few ways of communication we had in jail was to basically be like pamphleteers. So we would write essays and shit like that. I would write essays about, potentially a third party to replace the Republicans. I would write things about the labor movement because I was a union rep and things like that. And I would be like, the thinking people in the jail were like, there's got to be a better future for our country than what we're experiencing in solitary. We kind of pulled from the founding fathers, the Federalist Papers and things like that. Mm-hmm. All of the infiltrators and what kind of words should I not say on the stream? I don't want to get you demonetized. YouTube words. Just use YouTube words. We say moo, you can say F slur. If it's something that people will obviously know what it is, I've said TOS in the past. He's a TOS. I'm just going to say idiot. So
there you go. You were going to say the F slur, right?
No, I was going to say R-tard.
Oh, you can say retarded. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. He's a fucking retard. Yeah. So these fucking retards, like they think that we're all caricatures. And so if they act like caricatures, then they can get within our good graces and manipulate us. So these people, you can look at his fucking handwriting. He's literally, he's a fuck. Did I mention he's retarded? So he's writing all this shit. I'm writing like a platform for like a potential third-party platform or whatever, like cutting foreign aid to third world shitholes, whatever. And he loses his shit and he writes a response essay. And he's just like, what about Israel? We got to save Israel. Keep in mind, we didn't get into this. His actual ideology is anarchism. He is Antifa.
It's
so why does he
strange, dude? It's so similar to William, someone else I just made a video about, where like they'll present very like pro-white, right wing, but under a modicum of questioning, they don't believe in, like, they're not actually right wing at all. So it's an up and coming identity, political identity on the internet, I've noticed.
His entire, public and private expressions collectively are incoherent gobbledygook. He told me when he was in the cell next to me, he would rant to me through the vents about how we needed to abolish the borders, about how we need to let social media, like tech companies, like, I don't know, like control our elections and shit.
This guy will say anything. He'll contradict himself like more than James Lindsay in the same sentence, dude. Like,
yeah.
He will not shut the fuck up.
No, he's not capable of it. But just think about that. I want to abolish America's borders, so America shouldn't be a nation state. But also, America owes taxpayer-funded foreign aid to the nation state of Israel. Like,
classic.
Okay. And again, this is, to be fair to this idiot, my issues with Jake have never been that he's Jewish.
Right.
This is him when he's a fucking, he's 12, for his bar mitzvah. Okay. But his family's Israeli. He's probably a dual citizen. His sister served in the IDF. He has connections to the state of Israel. And he has spent years talking about basically, loyalty to Israel, whatever. But anyway,
but
he's a liar.
He lit their Bible on fire, though, and said, now it's stinky to me. So
yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe when we were together and he told me that he grew up practicing Kabbalah, I probably didn't.
It shows.
Yeah, he claimed. Keep in mind, he's also a pathological liar.
Excuse me, your Kabbalah is showing. Bumblebee tuna.
Zip that up, please. Yeah, no, he told me he was a trained rabbi at one point, but then he would also say he was a priest. So he'll go between Jewish and Christian based on the day of the week. He ran a cult. I can bring that up. It was called the Temple of Yisrael. He used to sign scripture with his name as Yisrael because he said that, like, Jacob in the Bible, who was called Israel, that God renamed him from Jake to Yisrael.
The same name as that guy.
And his name's not even Jake, by the way. It's Ed. His name is Edward Jacob Lang. He goes by Jake. This guy's
based. I trust this guy. We should take to the streets of this guy, right? This guy's got the plan.
Yeah. He had it figured out when he was running a knockoff of the Yellow Vest movement from France. It's just like there's no movement he won't try to co-opt.
Now, very quickly, let me just show the fellas how he feels about talking to Tim.
I was leading Bible study before Shane because I was there, literally arrested 10 days after J6. I got thrown in the hole for 3 months for asking to do these Bible studies because we weren't allowed out of our cells a lot. I was saying, we need specific religious time to come out of our cells. I got thrown in the hole for 3 months. By the time I came back to the unit, there'd been a whole, like, literally 30 new J6ers came, and Shane started doing the Bible studies.
Would you be willing to have a public conversation with this Tim guy? Because he's just spamming. It seems like I don't know if it's Tim or not.
He's such a spam artist. God bless him.
He's such a spam artist, dude. He can't think about what he's going to say before he says it. Spam artist.
He's like the brain bug from Starship Troopers. It's afraid. You can see he's questioning everything.
Would you have it? We can do it on the platform. We can set it up.
We've already done too much to platform somebody who should be able to.
Now, right now, he does not want to speak ill of you because you're also a J6er, right? So he has to find a way to kind of say something negative about you, but you can't be that negative because he's here to protect you, right? Like the precious white liberals protecting the blacks right now. He is the savior of all the J6ers.
Yeah, he's the class president.
Yeah.
To fight for his own name's sake, right? It's like, here's a perfect example.
Yeah.
In sometime in the 80s or whatever, when Miller Lite first launched its beer,
I love it.
They went after, I think, Bud Light.
Because he's Bud Light, right? And you're Miller Lite. See? Do you see how he can't just directly say it? He has to go this analogy where he's always at the forefront. He's always the one that's completely elevated. He's like, oh, God bless me. God made me so great. That's really the moo coming through. He's somehow chosen to lead the J6ers, right?
Look, you remember, like, maybe it was the 80s or whatever, the Goyim did something. I don't know. Anyway.
Light in like in a campaign, in an advertisement campaign, and Miller Lite was like a nobody or something on the map. But when Bud Light responded to their attack, it gave.
That's him. He's responding to your attack for a conversation, by the way. Guys, wailing on pain as he strikes you.
Miller Lite such a platform because Bud Light was this big,
Yeah. That's why you threatened to. That's why you threatened to sue everyone, isn't it? Because you wanted that.
No,
you wanted to.
Return fire. Yeah, that's why you're trying to sue people, because you just want money, right? Because you're trying to cloud chart them, right?
Well, you guys, none of you guys have even close to the platform I do. By God's grace alone.
By God's grace alone. I love the humble brag. No, all of you are below me, and thank you, God, for putting them below me. He thinks that made him sound like benevolent, right?
Yeah, it's everybody's so beneath him. That's why he sued all of them to get on their platforms. Yeah.
It's afraid. It's afraid.
Oh man. So.
Yeah, I'm not a threat to him at all. That's why he has me blocked, and he's scared shitless of me.
So, actually, let me start here. Let me start with how much of a hero this guy is. Now, fellas, I don't know how you feel. So,
might I just say, I'm sorry,
yeah.
real quick.
No, not a problem.
In the last clip, he was lying and saying that he was sent to the hole for asking for religious services. That's not true. He was sent to the hole because he incited a riot on Easter weekend, and he and another guy got thrown in the hole, and we couldn't talk to our families for a fucking week. So that was the first riot of several.
Oh, it was group consequences.
Yeah, of course. Which is not actually what they're not supposed to do that, actually. That's
hold on.
You're supposed to punish the person who's actually responsible.
I don't know if I can believe what you're saying right now. You're telling me this guy was starting a riot?
Himself destroying the structure. Jake Lang was arrested and charged.
I know.
Really? Really?
It's crazy.
Interesting.
It's just crazy enough to work.
But what I want to show people is that this guy is so obviously a Fed, and Alex Jones is talking to him. Now, I haven't been convinced that Nick Fuentes is a Fed. What will convince me that Nick Fuentes is a Fed is Tim Hale convincing me that Alex Jones is a Fed. And I'm open to it, okay? Because Alex Jones has all of this research, okay? And listen to how he's going to talk to fucking Jake Lang.
America First political activist. And, of course, journalist. He's got a lot of courage. Jake Lang on X. Jake's right in front of the mayor's office. Dangerous situation. He gets attacked anywhere he goes. He got attacked by jihadis that have been arrested and charged, radicalized by ISIS, trained overseas. They threw a shrapnel hand grenade bomb at him, and it caught on fire. But
was that thrown at him?
I'm not even convinced
in his direction, right?
It was.
Oh, you don't believe him?
I don't know. It's but and again, like he always like telegraphs all the places he's going to have these staged psyop events. So I mean, like, I wonder if maybe the three-letter agencies were maybe grooming these idiot Islamists to show up and throw a malfunctioning bomb.
He is very antagonistic, and he's a moo posing as a white, so whites get targeted. Just so you guys understand.
Specifically, a white Christian crusader who hates Muslims.
That's his group, is the Crusaders, and exactly. So he's a moo posing, and then there's whites going, "Oh, this guy, see, he said the N-word. Yeah, let's take to the streets." Unironically,
not detonate. It's called the Mother of Satan bomb. Here's a photo of it. And so he joins us now. He's going to announce a lot of big stuff here today, exclusively. This is a short little segment. Some of the stations don't carry it, so we're going to break in 3.5 minutes, but he'll come back with us after that. But let's go to Jake Lang right now. Jake, thank you for joining us.
Alex, we're still standing because Jesus is on the throne of America, and we will not relent to radical Islamic terrorism. We are standing strong, still in New York City, still standing.
I know you got a lot of breaking news, but you were there. They did arrest him. They did SWAT team, and they are charging him with terrorism. But the mayor said the real problem is you, and then defamed you.
Yeah, this is what you get when you vote in a Muslim mayor from another country. He's Ugandan. He doesn't share our values. He doesn't share our God. He doesn't share our language, our religion. Nothing about him and an American is the same. And he has brought this radical Islamic terror to New York City. This was a 9/11 style terrorist attack.
Just want to let you guys know he claims that he was baptizing ISIS members in prison. Okay. But before we go a little further into him, I just need you to see how he talks, how he operates. Would you agree that just hearing about him you need to see how he speaks kind of first, right? To see the kind of guy that he is, and then what you're describing is like, oh, that makes sense. Seeing how he speaks, you know.
He claimed that he baptized my buddy Scott Fairlamb, another J6er in jail. That he baptized him in the shower, and he cursed him off. It's just like a lying bitch.
Meant to intimidate and squash our First Amendment right. White Christian Americans who are displeased with our displacement.
This is very true. Jake talks like, yeah, he does hand gestures. I picked up on that as well. He's very Trump-like.
He tries to copy him. He tries to copy anything he thinks works. He actually hates Trump, by the way. He's not a Trump supporter. In September of 2021, they had something called, it was a guy named Matt Brainerd and a few others staged a protest outside the DC jail called the Justice for J6 rally. And Trump said, do not go. It's a setup. So nobody showed up. Jake lost his fucking shit. He admitted he wanted, basically, he was like, whoa, because there was a huge police presence. And he was just like, oh, basically he wanted a riot to break out.
Yeah, we're not like overusing the word sociopath. He really likes lying, coercing people. Yeah, let me just give you a little more of him.
We are being replaced in our homelands and being replaced by Muslims that are socialists. It couldn't get any worse. It's like living in a dystopian nightmare. And when you go out on the street corner and say, hey, by the way, I'm white, Christian American, I don't want to be replaced, boom, a bomb lands in your lap, Alex.
Well, now we know it's terrorism. They went overseas and were trained. And this is a real bomb, but thank God it did not detonate, or a lot of people would have been dead. It was a shrapnel bomb.
Yes, the same exact style bomb that they've used in multiple terrorist attacks. The last body counts were over 50 in Paris, Manchester. They're killing people with these satanistic bombs, literally the mother of Satan bombs. They have the devil embedded in them, and that's why Jesus' hand was able to squash and smother that detonator bomb. And my life is being called for by God. I'm here on this earth to do something, Alex. I don't know yet what God wants to use me for, but I intend to find out every day, fighting for his kingdom, used for his glory, standing for a Christian America.
Bomb lands right in his lap in the middle of the crosswalk. Okay.
Oh, it's too good. Real quick, fellas. Hurt chain $2. Ardy, can you restart the stream so I can Fed post? You can restart for that purpose. Come on. I'm not gonna do all that. You could just do it now. Just get me in trouble, blow up my spot. I mean, that's the point, right? Ancient Hybrid, $2. Thank you. Don't spend it all in one insurrection. See, the fellows know how to get through.
I need to get a notepad so I can take notes of things so I don't lose track of how many things I want to fucking scream about.
Yeah, absolutely. Strength, $14.88. I have no idea what the significance of that number is. Watching live for the first time in some time, fellows, I'm going to be honest, but the Fed posting in the fellowship is one of the reasons I'd be so silent. I don't think there's Fed posting in there. I think people are frustrated. It's you can be frustrated and be like, oh, dude, this person, these people is so frustrated, it's so annoying. I understand that, but it's like being like, there's no other way. There's no other way. So I know people are like frustrated and whatnot and say shit here and there. That's one thing. It's another thing, like publicly saying it and saying that, well, what else are we going to do? We're not going to vote. We're not going to, what? Have kids? The kids are just going to get raped. Like, dude. All right. That's what I'm talking about. And Bear in the Woods, $5. Undercover Moo. Us whites need to come to terms with our collective failures. Moo when confronted. I'm not white. I'm the Mooish victim, actually. A tale as old as time. I just need a little more of Jake Lang. I need a nice 3-minute straight Jake Lang spurg real quick.
Just going in the major announcements, Jake Lang, who literally is walking a tightrope on a daily basis. You can say what you want about him, but the man has guts, and guts is enough. Jake Lang.
Thank you, Alex. Glory to God for saving me and all my Crusader brothers from the Islamic terror attack. The mayor is too afraid to call it what it is. In fact, he doubled down today, calling me a white supremacist. Yesterday, his statement that has over 20 million views on X, he names me by name. He names my ideology, wrongfully shaming me as a white supremacist. I may be pro-white, just like I'm from New York. I love the Yankees. I'm also a white man. I have to.
And just one more time for posterity, okay? This is the guy that's trying to have people show up, and he says that he's not a white supremacist, which doesn't mean anything. But he also
Go back, APAC. Go back. That's the APAC building right there. White Christian men are not going to sit around while you turn our children into a bunch of lovers.
Now, Tim, help me out here. Now, he said he's not a white supremacist, right? Now, in some sort of like investigation, do you think they would use this as evidence that he in fact is a white supremacist?
Yeah, you know, I
Really?
think that this is probably the kind of thing they look for, or maybe his declaration during a drunken Twitter space that Trump only pardoned him so that he could kill blacks in a white revolution.
Did you send me that link, but we don't have the timestamp yet?
You know what? I think I can send that again.
No, I have it. Oh, it's only 3 minutes. We'll do that. We'll do it on the fly, fellas. I'm telling you. Fellas, I talked to Tim last night for what, 3 hours?
It seemed like it.
Dude, just Spurg riffing. I was like, you know what? Let's try to watch a Jake clip. I'm not kidding. 2 seconds would pass, and that would be another 10-minute conversation, dude. The fucking guy has a trail of stink on him. Oh, is he going to end bomb in this? Oh, we'll try it out. Oh yeah, baby! He did. That was good enough. I now believe the rest of this was. Oh wait a minute, hold on. I'm sorry, I didn't play it. Oh, that was actually good. I didn't play it. Now I can see it coming. Okay.
I told you. He's sure like he's a not child. 23? Like a child. Are you sure he's not 23?
He's like a child. I don't defend him.
We still love Jake.
He wants war. Everyone.
We still love Jake. He's a soldier.
Yeah, like I sit there and I defend.
Fuck yeah,
dude. He was down to ride 100% on Jake. So he's a soldier.
Oh my god!
There it
is.
Oh.
Like stop.
What do you mean?
What? What?
He was down to ride 100%.
Something to do with our children and who
somebody
are.
Brienne.
Okay. Spaces are very tough to listen to, but we have.
There's a transcript right there if you want to pull that.
I love it, dude. This guy and his fucking receipts. Oh my god, how does he do it? Who's is Rachel his whatever fiance?
Yeah, allegedly.
Right.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yep. Look at that. Look at this guy with his receipts, bro. It's a fucking white revolution. So this is what I'm talking about. But here's the issue. What you guys see, right, is like the little clips online, right? And you're like, oh, that guy's cool. And he has a call to action. And he's talking about killing the ends. And he's talking about a white revolution. And he's a moo. And there's people in my community that would be fooled by that. And I feel a responsibility to let you know the truth of what's going on. And these people trying to get you all excitable about a white revolution and there's no other option. It's people like this moo over here is what I'm trying to tell you. And I need a stream to do it. You want some more Jake facts right now before you explode? You got anything else on the top of your mind? He's muted right now. Okay, I'll keep playing.
Advocate and step up and represent my people who are being persecuted in America. We're being replaced and persecuted.
People.
So of course I'm pro-white. That's a natural thing to be if you're born a white person. But Zoran Mandami, instead of naming the terrorist.
There it is. See, now when he talks to Hassan Piker does this. Now when he talks to a popular person, he really dials back his message, right? He's just pro-white. It's just his team. It's just natural to be a pro-white person. Not only is he a moo, a dedicated moo, kiss the wall, but also is talking about violence against blacks, talking about white revolution. He's in the streets. He's doing a call to action. But a lot of people don't see it. Back, you hear? Hello?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I was just...
You get some more... I bet you're doing some fucking burning the midnight oil in the background right now.
Might tell me if you can hear this.
And then he turned around. He wanted me to recant that he didn't give me any documents. I said, no, you gave me documents. You wanted me to sign, and I didn't do it. And he's like, well, I didn't snitch on you. I was like, no, you didn't snitch on me. I never said you snitched on me. What I said was, you want me to sign weirdo documents, and I refused to freaking do it. And then he was like, well, I didn't say anything about you being a seditionist. I said, you did. You tried to get me to sign a thing saying we're all seditionists the day after I freaking got indicted. It was a mess. And then he tried to give me money. I told him, no, I don't want your money. I'm good. Thank you. Like I told him, I was like, there's no bad blood, Jake. I don't hate you. I don't want you to die. I don't want you to go to prison or anything. It's just we have a serious difference of opinions on these things. And like, I'm not going to change my mind just because you called me. Like, I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, baby.
That was one of the Oath Keepers that we were locked up with in D.C., Jessica Watkins, and he tried to get Jess and the Oath Keepers to sign incriminating documents called, you ready for this? The Declaration of Sedition, claiming that J6ers were all guilty of sedition and we were proudly going to overthrow the U.S. government in a violent revolution.
Huh.
Now,
but when you see clips of him, right? Hey, he's calling blacks ends, right? And he's doing the funny salute, right? But then there's the call to action. Then there's the constant allusion to violence. He's constantly getting arrested. And so, like, what are you going to do when you go there? People who are like, we need to take to the streets. Well, here's this guy. Do you see like how much this like mentality is bait? And then also, by the way, what you have to realize, the left can go and protest and set shit on fire because they have had institutional backing, governmental backing, and corporate backing for generations now, okay? You have to understand they are allowed to do that, and you are not. You can't even, like, do it. The Proud Boys were just having conversations in the background, and then Enrique Tarrio got a document sent to him, and they used that against him, even though there was no confirmation he ever opened it or shared it to anybody. Wait, you remember that? 1776 returns? You have to know about that.
Yeah, it goes right to the spam folder. That's evidence.
And it was sent, but it was sent to him. They're like, this was sent to him. Did he use it? And then you open it up, and it's like just a quick, like an intern was like, hey, commie fed intern, we need someone to just make some dog shit document and just have you send it to him. Send it to his girlfriend and she'll send it to him. and then it gets sent to him and it's like 5 pages and it's like way less intricate than all of the commie fed stuff that I've shown on stream. I'm sorry, I spurged. Here, now you include spurg.
Yeah, no, all the Proud Boy and Oath Keeper indictments were based basically off of like text messages and group chat shit that was taken. They would take messages out of chronological order and splice them together to make some narrative. There's more evidence of seditious conspiracy for the Groypers and Fuentes than there is for any of these so-called militias.
Like what would you say? I mean, even just the evidence of Nick Fuentes specifically telling people to go into the building as he was there. You mean something like that? So way worse than what Enrique Tarrio did.
Yeah, or like
that's the weird thing. And Tarrio used to be a federal informant, right?
Yeah, and he's pretty open about that. He it was like about a decade ago. He was I don't remember what the exact charge was that he caught, but he ended up working as catching some sort of like pedophile or some PDF file ring or something like that.
Yep, I remember that.
But you know what's interesting about him and Lang is they have one thing in common though, which is that Tarrio, if you look at his BOP registry number, he has a Bureau of Prisons ID number that is from before the COVID era. It's from the Southern District of Florida. Jake Lang has a Bureau of Prisons ID number from the Southern District of New York. I have a Bureau of Prisons number that ends in 509, like most J6 defendants, because we never had federal charges before January 6th. After the COVID era, they changed the Federal Bureau of Prisons system so that every ID number ends in 509 or 510. So anybody who doesn't have that had involvement with the feds before January 6th, which includes Jake Lang.
Now, I don't want you, I know this would be crazy to ask for like a short history of Jake Lang's life, okay? But I know you've made a document essentially starting ever since he was born, dude. It's too much. It's too much. But give me his criminal.
It was a cold, brisk night in Tel Aviv.
He's not kidding.
I don't know about the Tel Aviv part, but Jake is a career con artist. He spent his entire early life creating fake businesses, internet scams, and shit like that, and ripping people off. And I have been so so dedicated to illuminating the world about this that I would dive into archive dot, the Wayback Machine archive, and I would find all his old scams and shit like that. There you go. Look at all that. See, we can read. Yeah,
yeah. I'm reading all of it. Yeah, I'm clicking on each. Dude, we were talking last night, and he's like, "Dude, just pull up the document." I'm like, "The document! It's in here." Yeah, dude, it's just in here somewhere. Files.
Long story short, he's a lifelong con artist, junkie, pervert. I think that summarizes it.
What are some of his pervert stuff? From in prison or something like that?
Well, before January 6th, he was a stalker. He would basically harass women at bars, which led to a bar fight in Ohio. Well, actually, here's a good one. If you go to the bond filings by his lawyer, Stephen Metcalf, in 2021, he mentioned that at the time he was fighting to get bail for January 6th, he had 2 open cases in other states, Ohio and New York. Ohio was because he assaulted his friend for not helping him at a fight at a bar. And then there was an open case in New York when he was my cellmate in Northern Neck, Virginia jail. He told me that he caught a domestic for his ex-girlfriend, Nicole Colvaney, the former Miss New York of New York. So he has some sort of hidden domestic. He's a stalker. He tried to.
He actually called himself a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah. I would also call myself that if I
all of those scam businesses. Yep.
Harlem pusher. He's pushing shitty hats. Fucking paid to save app. Fucking just a bunch of fake dog shit. And his mommy was leaving fake reviews for his fucking scam businesses on Facebook.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so is his mom's complicit in the stuff that he does?
100. Oh, certainly. And
it's matrilineal. I understand.
Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah, this is the father, who's not Jewish, was less palatable to this until he got arrested. A little after he got arrested, he became his biggest champion. But when we were cellmates, he would curse his father off over the phone for not wanting to put his house up as collateral for him.
Honestly, you have to give him a round of applause for being that mooey. That's incredible.
Well, it's crazy. His father is the first person who kind of tipped me off in a sense because he, not directly, but he gave an interview immediately after Jake was arrested, and he told the local paper, "Yeah, my son's been a career criminal, problem child drug addict who's been in and out of trouble with the police for 11 years." And he just assumed J6 was him being a junkie. Which,
that'll have your ears perk up, right?
Yeah. So this guy who's been in and out of trouble for 11 years with the police, getting in trouble legally, and a drug addict.
Wait, this guy?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
This Christian crusader.
But he's based because he's willing to do something about it, though.
Yeah,
so you have to admit he's kind of based, right?
Wait, you telling me that this guy is not my spiritual and thought leader because he said something slightly edgy that I would have said 13 years ago?
Right, dude.
What are you talking about?
Killing me, dude.
Yeah,
it really is a psyop to take advantage of the frustration of people on the right and go yeah, I don't care what it is. I just want to see something happen. That impulse, which is understandable, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Which we could talk about privately, right? But you're just drawing attention to yourself because you have no answer. That's why when I talk to these people, I'm just so what are you telling me to do right now? And they won't say it. And it's this is a sign. Typically, 5 years ago, this would be a red flag.
Yeah. By the way, what kind of body armor is he wearing? I always see that. It doesn't look like there's actually a plate in there. So is that just some sort of stab-proof plate or a carrier? What he pretended that he got stabbed once and there was a hole in it. But afterwards, when you looked at the video, the hole was already there. So it wasn't an actual stabbing. So he lied about it. And I'm just trying to figure out what the hell he's wearing that for. If it's
he was hawking hoverboards.
Oh yeah,
hoverboards, Grift in 2016. God, this is his early 20s. He was doing all these scams.
Inflatable seats. It's the future.
still up? Is it still up? And it, in fact, is still, dude. He's used to just networking, locking down a distributor, fast talking, already on to the next thing. I've known a fair amount of people like this. That is hilarious.
Yep. And it's crazy too, because like you had people called the sedition hunters who were hunting down J6ers, like every detail of their lives to just ruin people. They were able to find people based off like pictures of their ears. These OSINT guys. And but none of these people were able to find anything that it took me 5 minutes to find in his background. Super weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had a very similar feeling sometimes where I go, why is Cartoon Boogerman showing this and nobody else is? That's odd.
A little weird.
That's a sign. I shouldn't be the one discovering anything. Okay.
Yeah, right. Why is Hitler mustache guy the guy who's like the one debunking?
Okay, you do it
Jewish
one
Hitler.
time. You do it one time, and everyone makes a big deal about it.
Every time I try to get out, they pull me back in.
All right, let me do a little bit more of Jakey Boy over here.
Names. These people who threw bombs, instead of calling them terrorists, instead of naming that they're radical Muslims, he calls out my ideology and basically insinuates that because I have a different political opinion, because I'm a Trump supporter, because I'm white, because I'm a Christian, that I have now basically antagonized and invited a terror attack upon myself. And that is what makes a third world country. America is defined by this. You can have any opinion on any street corner and say it without being attacked.
And they're showing the fuck white people commercials over this dude. This is like legitimate propaganda right now. They're showing the fuck white people commercials. It's like, okay, this is really bolstering what he's saying, I would say. But here's the thing. Look at how much trouble and effort Jake Lang is willing to go through to do all of this, right? Now think of how little effort it takes to infiltrate online communities, right? That's really the point that I want to make.
Oh my God. Hold on. On that note.
Yeah. I'll just keep playing this. Let me know when you got it, okay?
Here you go.
If you're in Saudi Arabia and you're a Christian and you dare proclaim the name of Jesus Christ, the same thing that happened to me yesterday would happen to you on the streets. That's
abolishing the white race is what they're now playing on screen. They are really boosting what this moo is saying, dude.
Check out.
That's what Alex Jones is doing.
Just sent you something good. So
where'd you send it?
To the private chat. So one of his things is starting Fed militias, setting people up. So there's three.
Why do you mean that's one of his things? How are you treating that like some sort of fucking hobby?
As you know, it's one thing here, one thing there. So the third fake militia he set up was this thing called Napalm USA, and he tried to get people to join this Telegram chat group, one page for each different state, right, to register people. And it's all just fucking fake. It's just fake Indian accounts.
This is great. Breaking. Jake Lang, June 3rd, 2024, really itching to, doesn't seem scared of going back to fucking jail, does he? Over 500 plus patriots joined the North Carolina State Napalm Militia in the last 6. Hey, wait a minute. What was I asked? I was asked something. I can't remember it. I think I was asked, so what's my solution? And I didn't have an adequate solution. So one of those solutions, right, that I did not have readily available to me, okay? Hey, there we go, right? Solution, they're mobilizing. It's getting people together for a common cause, right? To join the Napalm Militia. Napalm USA? Oh God! What are you putting on my computer? Of course, page not found. It never lasts very long.
Don't do it. Don't do it. It's fucking. You can still see it on archive, but it was the third time. The first militia was as soon as J6 happened. There was actually a guy who got picked up on this, so it's not like my theory. He's setting people up. There was a defendant named Christopher Finney. And they found him because his information was in Jake Lang's phone after January 6th in a chat group for militia shit. That was militia number 1. Yeah. Militia 2 was for me and the others in the J6 and the DC jail. He was trying to get all the veterans to join a militia in jail. He was trying to get, I think I told you about my special forces friend, Jeff McKellop. he tried to get him to become his general, and Jeff is just like, "Your general? What am I, Moses, leading the fucking Hebrews? What are you talking about?" It was just
so this person is a Christian patriot, okay? And they go, so I just popped over and connected to my state, and all I see is the Telegram chat of a bunch of names from India. Please advise. Thank you. What do you mean, please advise? Run, motherfucker. What do you mean advise? What the fuck?
Please gaslight me.
Dude, this is what the discernment that I want the fellas to have, okay? Because people fall for this. Interesting. Most likely trolls to get information on what the group is doing. Okay, so then it's not secure. Not long after I posted the above, I came back to see if anyone had looked into it and found that I was blocked from seeing the original post. That freaked me out a bit. Only freaked this person out a bit. It's not a fucking red flag, hair on fire, run away. I'm still, I'm exhibiting some caution right now, but I want to see what this is about. It's for a good cause, right?
I thought I saw a red flag.
My brand new Telegram account this AM and uninstalled the app. Couldn't do so last night. That is hilarious, dude.
I'm so glad I'm saving America with Rishab Bharati.
But dude, but this is what like Fed posting is meant to do. It's honestly like what Indians do, right? Scammers, like they're trying to cast a really wide net, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to cast a really wide net, and they know that they're, if they reach 1,000 people, they're hoping to get fucking 5 or 10.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you even look at the, I don't know if I have it right now, but basically, like I said, if you went to archive and you found that if you went to the Napalm USA website back then, it literally has a separate Telegram chat for every single state. So he was trying to get people to sign up across
now, this
the
makes
fucking
sense
country.
real quick because he's used to doing like these digital scams, right? So he has no problem on the back end setting up the entire backbone of what he needs. He's like Mr. SEO man. He knows how to make a website. Right? He knows how to do all this shit in the back end very quickly, and he's psychotic enough to actually do it.
Oh yeah, and keep my just so we know how America first he is. He hires Filipinos to do all this shit for him. He hires Filipino slaves. Yeah.
Well, who else is joining that chat?
America first.
But let's not forget that he's talking to Alex Jones, okay? This is the level of discernment Alex Jones has, apparently.
That's how you know we're living under Islamic oppression. If you do not have the right to say Jesus Christ is Lord, and I want to remain a demographically white country, and you can't say that in America without being bombed by Muslims, do we even have a First Amendment? Are we even a free country anymore? It's time to stand up, American men. The rights you think you have written on a piece of paper are nothing.
It's time to stand up. Okay, now I'm standing. What's my next move, Jake? What should I do next?
Unless you exercise them.
Yeah, we've seen footage, but there's always more when you're actually there. Describe where you were, what happened, then the aftermath, and then the big announcements you got.
So this was another beautiful, peaceful protest we put on where we were assaulted when we were arriving to the...
They're still showing abolish white people footage over what he's saying. So they do seem very complicit in what he's saying. How often does InfoWars really feed into the anti-white stuff and go, see, they want to kill whites? Like, holy shit, dude. This is pretty heavy-handed right now.
I just want to say, too, real quick, the whole... Now, you could posit this as it's Jews trying to get Christians, or I guess a Jewish guy pretend to be a Christian to hate on Muslims or whatever. That dynamic is there, but it's worth noting, too, like how dishonest he is simultaneously, because when we were locked up in jail, there's a very nice guy we were locked up with, a Mexican J6er, and his name was Peter Steger. And I don't endorse it. He converted to Islam, though, and he was pretty much he was probably the nicest person to Jake that there ever was.
Yep.
And he's basically shitting on the religion of his only real friend. So I just putting that out there. Like, it's all performative at the end of the day.
Yeah, if it wasn't this, it would be something else, right? The point isn't that he's a moo trying to subvert the whites. It's that he would have chosen anything, and that's just the direction that he went in.
Yeah.
mayor's mansion. Thousands of protesters surrounded us. Antifa attacked us with their masks on, pepper sprayed my guys, punched me in the face. I'm still healing up from that. And this was just on the way. This is even before the real terror attack happened with bombs. The other terror attack by Antifa. See how Antifa and the Islamists are working together? One of them punches you in the face and antagonizes you and threatens to talk to you. The other one throws bombs at you. And at the end of the day, they go meet up and they laugh about it.
I want you guys to realize how long he is capable of rambling and talking for. It's like psychotic. It's like manic, dude. He can just keep on talking. He'll contradict himself and just fucking go right through it, and nobody interrupts him or like fucking says anything about it. It's crazy.
I got something when this is done.
Doesn't fly. So
Very
we
nice.
brought the goat. We were singing Star Spangled Banner. We were singing God Bless America by Lee Greenwood. And then all of a sudden, as I was in the middle of giving a speech, a crazed Muslim that has been radicalized and just traveled to the Middle East, an ISIS terrorist, used a liberal protester who was in the middle. He was in the middle. This liberal white man was
Very
in the middle of
Trump.
literally saying that all foreigners are welcome in New York City. As this guy uses his shoulder and catapults off him and throws a bomb over him, intended to vaporize me. It landed.
Intended to vaporize me. I wouldn't be able to, dude. I would, no matter what situation I was in, I would go, like, Tim, if you describe something as someone trying to vaporize you, I would go, all right, dude, like, fucking, let's calm down for a second, okay? What are you going to show?
Wait, how many Jake Langs can you vaporize in how many years? Okay, no, I'm sorry, this is about, no, that's not funny. Yeah, so the last thing I sent you, it tipped, it just jogged my memory. He's talking about Antifa, blah, blah, whatever. He is Antifa. But the last thing, like, so he staged an attack on his home. I'm like, yeah, you see the little signs that were put in front of his house. And you look at his handwriting from the jail where he tried to, as a shyster, he tried to get me to design basically baseball cards about J6ers, like Pokemon cards called Patriotmon. Real shit. I'm not making it up. I was supposed to be the stash. You know why.
God, dude.
He wanted me to design baseball cards for J6ers so he could get rich. Anyway, so you look at the handwriting. I'm not saying it's an exact match, but it looks pretty fucking similar. These signs that Antifa left outside his home to harass him.
Okay.
This is what we call a hoax.
Look at these signs on my front lawn. These animals really doxed my home address that we were staying at in Minnesota, trying to stalk and harass us.
Dude, but even how he speaks, okay? He said my home address that we were staying at in Minnesota, okay? He's incapable of thinking before he says something. That is such an incoherent sentence. Listen to the sentence.
Look at these signs on my front lawn. These animals really doxed my home address that we were staying at in Minnesota.
No one talks like that. No actual non-sociopathic human says my home address that we were staying at in this place. Like, that's not your home address, and it's the place you were staying at. He said my home address, realized it's not his home address, that had to change what he was saying. Whenever he's saying, he's constantly having to correct what he just said.
He's actually retarded. Hey, look at the last thing I sent you too. This is I'm not a fan of this person. This is how you know I try to be as objective as possible.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing I sent you is a source from a J6er I'm not fond of, but
Fair enough.
He found out that he is a distant relative of Jake, and he found out that their family has acknowledged that Jake Lang was an Antifa and BLM rioter before January 6th.
So this is what happened with James Lindsay, where he was so hateable, right? That people would start. You literally contacted me when you saw James Lindsay, and you were like, "Dude, fucking James Lindsay is here. What the fuck do I do? Should I make fun of him? What the fuck do I do?"
No, you gave me up. You gave up you never go up your sources. Yeah, that was me.
But like, he's such an unlikable guy that when you're a guy that's criticizing him, people go to you and they're like, "Dude, did you see this about him? Did you see this about him?" And so with Jake Lang, he burns every bridge, it seems like. Has he retained anyone, a relationship with anyone in the last 6 months, let alone 5 years?
Even his most diehard loyalists have pretty much disappeared. The only people that still show up around him, as far as I can tell, are just people he pays.
Well, dude, it's Andre Williams went to a protest. I don't know if he's still doing shit with him, but it's like, bro, this is what I don't get. It's really easy to look up his name. and see shit about him, right? So how do you just ignore all of that and go, I'm not even going to look it up. I'm just going to go work with the guy? It's crazy to me. Like, how does Alex Jones have him on his fucking show? If you're suspicious enough to be a fan of Alex Jones, right, and go, hey, we're being lied to, I'm trusting what Alex Jones is saying, you would have to exhibit that same level of discernment toward Alex Jones for having him on. Can we at least start there?
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, how about this? How does Laura Loomer, the renowned investigator, have him on her show and framing him as a Christian crusader the same day that the DMs came out showing that he was trying to get with a 15-year-old girl, and she just doesn't realize it?
Do we possibly have those DMs by any chance?
Oh, if you could spare me a couple of minutes, I think I could produce it. Oh, God.
That sounds fantastic. Oh, that sounds terrific.
Oh, God, my lumbago. Oh, God, Rocco, you wouldn't believe what happened.
It's like fucking Saul Rosenberg from Jerky Boys. I pulled large pieces of furniture out of my ass.
Oh, God. Oh, Peter, you wouldn't believe what happened. Some ruffians came into my store and they knocked over all the Pepto-Bismol and I slipped on it and it hurt my anus. Oh, God, it hurts.
Wait, I thought I had the Laura Loomer? I think I do. Fellas, I don't think you realize how many tabs I have open and how much I tried to curate this ahead of time, and I knew I wouldn't be able to.
It's a lot.
But yeah, so we talked to Laura Loomer. I found that somewhere. Let me pull it up right now.
Let's see.
Easy enough.
I found one.
God.
I feel like
Dude,
I feel like there's another one too. But
when you try to look up videos of him, he's on these small, weird little channels with people talking to him.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, here's the correct one. This is the one where she calls him a Christian crusader. Here, the last one I just sent.
Oh, you dirty little bitch! You're right.
I said, you dirty dog.
White supremacy and racism to make it seem like almost like.
So this is March 11th of this year, okay? This guy has the staying power of James Lindsay, fellas, okay? I don't think he's going anywhere if he's still getting attention like that. When was Alex Jones? Alex Jones was fucking March 9th, dude. So this is a part of the same coordinated fucking media tour.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't like that. I like that you showed me something I don't like, Tim. It's probably an effect you have on people a lot.
It's just like it's okay to bomb white people. And that's why I wanted to have you on my show, because we're at a very dangerous point in America. And I think you'd agree with me, Jake, that there really does seem to be a group of people, not just the Muslims, but also the Islamic sympathizers and the Muslim enablers, who truly do believe that you deserve to die if you are found to be a racist or if you're Islamophobic.
In that clip you just played, they were like saying, oh, we just threw an Allahu Akbar bomb at them. And somebody screams about, that's sick. That's awesome. Like, these woke, liberal Antifa scum are going to celebrate dozens of NYPD and dozens of Christians being blown up in front of them. And by the way, they were all within the bomb blast radius, and they all would have left with a missing limb or a head blown off and never even seen their family again. And no survival instinct. They and continue.
He's really starting to grow on me. I really love the Jake Lang appeal to emotion. That they're going to walk away with their head blown off and their families are never going to see them again. Everything's out of order and none of it makes any fucking sense, dude.
Let me just say, Ardy, if you might have noticed how hoarse his voice is.
It's always hoarse.
I think he probably was crying and screaming all day because this is the day when the DMs came out about the 15-year-old. So,
and could you pull those up in the background as we're listening to this?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Need to protest me for like another 2 hours after a terror attack just happened.
Yeah, I found that to be so strange. Like, nobody was running. The guy throws a bomb, and then you would expect people to be running in the opposite direction. It shows you that these people really don't take the threat of Islam seriously.
I ran my heart out. I said, leave the goat, and I love the goat, and I found a great home for the goat. I said, leave the goat, head to the ships. They're throwing bombs. So I have a survival instinct, and I made sure the Crusaders got out of there right away.
Every time he has a survival instinct. Every time with this guy. Thank you, God, for blessing him with all of these powers and instincts and courage and bravery. Weird how you made him go through the Moo route, but it's what's important that he ended up here on our side for us. Very nice.
Where did you put the goat? Where's the goat?
The goat is the most wanted MAGA goat in the country. Every journalist outside Zoran Mondami's house today wanted to ask me about the goat. They're trying to figure out where he lives. You'll never learn. You'll die with that information. He's at a sanctuary, though, and he's happy, okay? Okay, Bubba's, the MAGA Crusader goat, is happy, okay?
Oh, yeah, dude, I bet he really take care of these. He'll just show up with a goat or, like, with a fucking micro pig. He'll just show up with an animal that, literally, and look at her. Oh, look at that face. She loves it. She's like, oh, and you abused an animal? Be still my heart.
Yeah, it's so forced. And it's funny, like, if you pay attention to the body language, even she gets uncomfortable even through it. And we all know that Loomer is a documented unstable person.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But if you actually pay attention, because Jake just does nothing but filibuster, you can see like discomfort in her. And there are times throughout the whole interview, if you watch it, he's just talking over her every time she's trying to move on to her, propaganda or whatever. He doesn't even let her get out her fucking, her propaganda. Yeah.
When you've had like a teacher in school that just will talk for a straight hour and you go, what are you going to say next? How do you possibly have anything more to say? He will fucking keep going. He will put you in the ground with rhetoric.
And to top it all off, I did save him from a halal slaughterhouse, and that day he was going to die.
You know what? That reminds me. He went from not telling anyone anything about it to now saying he saved it from a halal slaughterhouse in literally less than fucking 15 seconds. He was ready to say nothing about it, and then he goes, ooh, that everything is post hoc rationalization with this guy. He'll say something, and he's like, ooh, now he's feeling like I'm hiding it. No, it was at a sanctuary. And also, I saved it. And it's always occurring to him as he's saying it.
Hey, also some background on the background, by the way.
Yeah.
If you look at behind him, you see Mike Lindell's book about, I guess, how he stopped being a drug addict and became successful. I guess Jake's trying to mimic that, but not well. And then
definitely.
On the top shelf behind him, I'm pretty sure that is a portrait of Bart Shively, a J6 defendant who's a Marine Corps vet who died of stage 4 cancer several months back. And Jake is on recording getting kicked out of his house when he was on hospice care. Other J6ers had to eject him from the house. He was trying to get Bart Shively to sign over, to basically sign his rights away to Jake. So it was
Fellas, I tried to warn you how deep it goes. Okay? I tried to warn you. It's not enough time in the day.
Not enough. I sent you that thing, by the way.
Probably be raped by a Muslim that owned the slaughterhouse before he died. So I saved him from 2 horrible Islamic experiences.
How did you get him? How did you get him from the halal slaughterhouse? I want to hear this story. It sounds very interesting. Where'd you get him?
Pull up with a U-Haul van, hand the Muslim $700 cash, throw the goat in the back of the van, go to the Kamani's memorial service, troll all of the Muslims there, go to Zoran Mondami's, bring the goat outside there, get a bomb thrown at you, and live to tell about it, Laura.
So you
and the crowd goes mild. Look at how satisfied he is, and look at how unimpressed she is.
Ball van, hand the Muslim $700 cash, throw the goat in the back of the van, go to the Kamani's memorial service, troll all of the Muslims there, go to Zoran Mondami's, bring the goat outside there, get a bomb thrown at you, and live to tell about it, Laura.
It's worth noting.
So
clearly,
you just found
nobody gives a shit how he got the goat. There's 2 things I notice here, and this is just me being me. One, this is just this asking the question of like how, like him telling this fucking stupid story about how he got the goat, which is obviously fake.
Goat, which is odd.
Yeah, well, he was fucking a goat in front of, well, not literally, but he was dry humping a
mimicking.
goat. And so like there's that. So that's really what the story is. He was trying to incite Muslims in New York again. But the second thing is, am I the only one, like, when she asked the question, oh, how did you get the goat? I really want to know. It's not like, that's like, I get like super snitch vibes from that. Like she's trying to get like intel on his operations. It's like I can't tell who's snitching on who.
Well, he's a Christian crusader, by the way. But also, I feel like people can do there's one of two ways to handle Jake Lang. You just let him do his thing the entire time, I think, which is what Alex Jones does. Or you're like, I don't know if I want to be associated with this. Let me ask some clarifying questions. This is moving really quick right now. He had some sort of fucking goat that he paid $700 for. What the fuck happened to the goat? What the fuck? Like, if you start, he's talking the entire time, so you're not thinking, right? He doesn't want you. The last thing he wants you to do is fucking think. However, very quickly, King Spectre, $5. Thank you. Don't worry, everyone. I'm here. I mean, Ardy, can you pause the stream for 48 minutes while I catch up? I could do that, but for you, I won't. Arden, party. $5. Thank you. Ardy, have you considered that maybe you are the LARPer and Jake is the real deal? Tim, hope you're enjoying freedom. Anyway, find me on Rumble and X. Thank you very much, Arden Party. I am a fake piece of shit, and Jake Lang is the real deal with bigger arms and a bigger dick than I have. Thank you for that. Deep Calm, $5. I'm imagining Jake eagerly reaching out to his handlers like, got any work for me, guys? And they're like, this fucking guy again. This fucking guy again.
I have a story about that.
We will get to that in just a moment. DPK, $10. Thank you so much, my dude. Unlike me, my brothers, I will not grift or steer you in the wrong direction. I urge all moos to form bonds to strengthen and disassociate themselves from weakness. By the way, got any spare change? That is how it goes. That is how it goes. TPK, $5. Laurel Loomer is Uncanny Valley. It's the fucking Jigsaw doll, dude. There's nothing else I can say about her at this point. Modern Magus, $2. Thank you. But is his rhetoric defective? Fellas, analyze. Somehow it's working. It's getting him to talk to Laura Loomer. It's getting him to talk to fucking Alex Jones. So apparently he's doing something right. Or they're a little crooked. I mean, discernment, fellas, is how retarded do you have to believe Alex Jones is? It's kind of a lose-lose at that point. Strength, 1488, thank you. So I never look at Loomer. Good. I'm envious. But she was a right-wing figure, but I never knew she had a preeminent post-plastic surgery Madonna look. Madonna, huh? I'd hate to be your dick, dude, if that's what makes it fucking stand. That's Madonna, motherfucker? Really? I don't know about that, man. Thank you, though. Last member, sir, $5. The only funny thing about this is that you get to say Jake Lang, if that is his real name. What a lol cow. Actually, that is good. We have to start saying that because it's not his real name. So what do you got?
So it was funny. Like one time, actually now I just thought of it.
Yeah,
I have a story about Loomer. Actually, I crossed paths with her when
did
Trump
she try to get you to eat her pussy? Because there is a detailed story of her getting some stinky dome from someone, or else she was gonna say something about them. So I'm making sure it's not you.
No, thank God.
Okay, good.
I actually wanted to confront her about some shit, but it was the victory rally that Trump had in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
After the election, and Conor McGregor was in one of the stands, and she was like rushing out to him, trying to get his attention.
Oh,
I think she got blown off, but it was just it was like she was trying to get a picture with him and shit like that. I'm just like, that's desperate.
Oh, but she's definitely a star fucker.
Oh yeah, but in terms of him, when we were in jail, I would walk up on him on the, they have phones for you to make phone calls that are attached to the walls, so you have to turn away from the rest of the unit. Yeah, people are out of their cells. So I walk up behind him so I can get to the phones, and he's whispering on the phone. He's just like, "You need to make me the liaison for everybody here. You need to make me the liaison for January 6th." There's some handlers on the other side of the phone. So in terms of like hey guys, you got any work for me? It just kind of reminded me of that. And,
dude, he's always trying to get to the top, even if he has to fucking beg for it.
There was a funnier instance. I'll speed this up. I'm walking behind him, doesn't know I'm there, and he's clearly fucking passing information along. And then he realizes at the last second that I'm behind him, and he jumps up and he goes, "Hi, Uncle Scott. How are you today?" And I'm like, well, that's an interesting thing. You've been talking on the phone. Suddenly your Uncle Scott is on the phone. And then it happens 2 more times in the day. I swear on a stack of Bibles as long as my dick that this fucking guy repeated that. "Hi, Uncle Scott. How are you today?" 3 times in one day. Like he forgot.
This is what I'm saying. Well, no, it seems like like for a true sociopath to exist, right? He can't have an internal monologue or dialogue. Like he strikes me as a person that is like a victim of constant impulse.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why when he's talking, he's constantly contradicting himself. He's constantly talking because it must be a nightmare inside of his head. Like he seems like he does not want to spend any time alone. That's why. Yeah, exactly. What, you know, you're alone in prison, right? You're whatever, solitary confinement, fucking definitely sucks and whatnot. But you take it on the chin. You talk to some fucking fellows. You try and form some bonds, some friendships. Try and hang out and have some good times as much as you can. This motherfucker's doing revolutions. He can't like be alone with his own thoughts for a second. He seems like he has a very dark mind, I would say.
He has, calling it a mind, I think, is giving it too much credit. He's
fucking, he's on a generational run right now, dude. Okay? He's on a fucking run, bro.
To take away all the hyperbole and all of the, you know, the theatrics.
I love that. After he engages in all of this hyperbole, he goes, take away all the hyperbole. So would you fucking lie just then? Were you just fucking exaggerating the entire... So anyway, I'm not... Okay, fine. Alex, I'm going to stop fucking lying to you. What the fuck do you mean? Aside from all the hyperbole.
Let me be clear. I was lying.
What the fuck?
I'm over him. Intended to vaporize me. It landed 3 feet in front of me. And now, to take away all the hyperbole and all of the, you know, the theatrics here, that was incredibly testing of my faith. In that moment, I thought my life was over. And immediately, my first reaction was to give glory to God. Everyone saw the video. I said it was Jesus who made it so that bomb didn't detonate. And I believe that God did purposely intervene as a miracle in my...
Bro, the self-indulgent, like, invocation of Christ, bro, is such a red flag, isn't it? He invokes it often. I understand, like, this, but, like, he really thinks Jesus is following him around, being like, no bomb there. That's not going to happen to you. You're safe here. Because he invokes Christ so much when he puts himself in danger and he's protected by the federal government.
And he doesn't believe in Jesus. He told me Jesus was an invention of the Romans. You know, like this is
that's fucking shocking, dude.
Yeah.
Really? I can't believe he said that.
My spiritual leader right here. Yeah. I sent those DMs, by the way.
Oh, very cool.
For this movement that we had, Christians Uprising, Tommy Robinson's, Nick Shirley's, amazing Christians that are standing against the radical Islamification of America. Every bomb that is thrown against us and every weapon that is thrown against us will not prosper in the mighty name of Jesus because we have a calling. Charlie Kirk was taken by the Lord, but God has set more warriors in his stead to pick up the torch and carry us on to liberty so that...
Charlie Kirk was taken by the Lord. Interesting.
Wait, I noticed he name dropped Tommy Robinson. What does he and Jake Lang have in common?
They're both friendly with the same country.
they could use a bag of silver.
I mean, well, no. He also wait a minute. There was a dude. You've done it to my brain. I was A-logging Jake Lang all day, and there was a video of him with Nick Shirley. So he's the kind of guy that will just pop up to an event where he knows there's going to be notable people there, and just to have his face associated with them.
Yeah, all the time.
Look at the anti-white propaganda being put up here for Jake Lang. Incredible.
100 years from now, children can grow up in the same beautiful America with the same standards, the same demographics, in the same way that the founding fathers envisioned when they put their pen to that ink and they made sure they put their lives in their sacred honor for the same things I'm fighting for today. And we are the new Crusader movement fighting against Islam, Alex.
Let's play a clip of Mondami a day after this happened and having to admit it was terror, but then saying white people are the problem. And then they have their fake federal numbers they've been caught putting out. Here's the clip.
We're home at the time. This was a vile protest rooted in white supremacy entitled Stop the Islamic Takeover of New York City. I'm the first Muslim mayor of our city. Anti-Muslim bigotry.
And I believe he's trying to sue Zohar Mamdani for $65 million.
Yeah, and it's not the first one. So if we pull up the article later, you can just use the search function, just type in lawsuit or sue. And over and over and over, every time he does one of these fake PSYOP protests and gets his ass whooped or whatever, he immediately launches a fake lawsuit.
Well, he's litigious. That's really surprising to me.
Yeah, I'm I think we're all surprised.
Okay, so we have some DMs from Jake Lang. It says, you coming to my next protest in Texas? The person says, I can if you want me to. He says, yes, what's your number? They say, can we talk on here instead, or are you only text? Says, I have way too many DMs. Text only, sweetie. Sweetie? Okay. We have, I'm laying... Does that say I'm laying down naked in bed?
I think it's laying down now.
Now in bed. Fair enough. What did your mom say? Smiley face. How old are you, by the way? I'll ask tomorrow. I just turned 30, honey. Why you up so late, young lady? I don't like this. Time to read it. Nice. I don't know. I'd be a night owl. I might be too young for you, lol. How old are you, baby? So when someone says I might be too young for you, lol, really?
You should double down and call them baby.
That's what we all would do. Unless you are under 18, I don't care.
Do you notice the time gap between how old are you and unless you're under 18?
Oh, that's great.
Look how many hours it took.
Yeah, that's 10 hours. He thought for 10 hours. He really thought about it. He took a couple of showers and thought about it. He's like, okay, unless you're under 18, I don't care. I'm 15, lol. Now, he said unless you're under 18, I don't care, right? So 15, so now he must care. He goes, when do you turn 16? I thought if they're under 18, then it's over, Jake. I thought if it was under 18, it was over. You know, if you're under 18, I don't want to talk to you. I'm 15. So when do you turn 16? Oh, a pro-white steed, some would say. That's your that's your guy on the streets being pro-white for you. That's the guy you can trust right there.
By the way, it's worth noting, too, I just looked this up, the age of consent, because he's originally from New York, so he's one of yours, but he's in Florida now with his mommy. So the age of consent there is 18. So it doesn't 16 wouldn't even be legal anyway.
He talked himself down to 16. No one else talked himself down.
He auctioned off the age of consent.
Yes. He thought though. He had to leave and come back.
He had a consent auction.
When you turn 16 in 6 months, I won't get in trouble if that's what you're worried about. I can keep a secret.
You should. Even Muhammad waited longer.
He loves bringing up Muhammad and how he's 6 years old and Aisha. That is great.
Got him.
That is fantastic.
This weird fuck was doing. Jake's not interested in goats. As it turns out, he's interested in young underage women. A friend of mine, Arlen, aka the Zerg, does underage things.
So, fellas, you have to realize, okay, this man smells of Fed from head to toe. Many people on the internet try and let people know. Somehow, we're going to continue this conversation he had with Alex Jones, okay?
Real quick.
Yes.
It just occurred to me.
Absolutely.
Because these are DMs, and I don't know where this account allegedly was supposed to be out of, but the fact that he's talking about staging a protest in Texas at the start of it, I think this could count as an actual sex crime because it's over electronic communication. It would be interstate communication. That could be some sort of sex crime. It wouldn't just be a local violation or state crime, based on the age of consent. I don't know.
For some reason, I think the state might go after him and the feds might get involved and they go, get away from our boy. You get away from him.
Yeah, I found out in the feds, you have two kinds of sickos. You have clickers and you have touchers. So
okay.
At this stage, he's only at the clicker stage.
Oh boy, here we go.
Nor is it anything new for the 1 million or so Muslim New Yorkers who know where the right to peaceful protest is that I abhor. Any of the counter-protesters met and Ibrahim. There is video of these two individuals throwing two devices towards the protest. The police department has determined that these were...
Now, fellas, when we're talking about political violence, okay, look at what they're allowed to get away with. Now, I want you to take all of this in. We have communist mayor of New York City, okay? And we start you there.
...of coming here to commit an act of terror.
We have...
And by the way, real quick, sorry, this guy right here with the bullhorn, he's a comedian.
Yes, Walter Masterson.
He was at the Capitol on January 6th on Capitol grounds, and he never even got a trespassing charge.
Oh, that is delicious.
So it's just interesting how this just overlaps. It keeps happening.
You got communist mayor, okay? You have white shitlib right here,
Yeah.
okay? Which can, advocate for really anything through his megaphone. It's just going to be considered free speech, just to show you how asymmetrical this is.
There is video of these two individuals throwing two devices towards the protest.
And then he is actually used as a device by a crazy Islamist throwing some sort of nail bomb into a crowd, okay? Now, you couldn't give a haircut during COVID without being issued a fucking citation, okay? The rules aren't the same for both of us. So when you start getting all excited about talking about any sort of violence, I'm making content on the internet, but it's political content. I'm still operating in the political sphere, okay? You can't do 100th of what you can't even walk on fucking property on January 6th without going to prison or jail, incarcerated for fucking 3 years, motherfucker. They're allowed to do this. I know it's frustrating. I know it's not fair. It's the fucking reality that we live in, okay? You have to just come to peace with that if you're going to attempt to engage with anything politically.
It do be like that.
The police department has determined that these were improvised explosive devices made to injure, maim, or worse. Thanks to the swift and decisive actions of NYPD officers at the scene, both men were immediately taken into custody, and the devices they brought taken off of our streets. I want to commend the officers who were on site.
Even though he literally helps Alvin Bragg throw the book at them when they do their job.
So he said yesterday, white supremacist Jake Lang organized a protest outside the Gracie Mansion rooted in bigotry and racism. Standard, right? Of course, Jake Lang is going to, Sig Heil and N-bomb and go, I can't believe. Meanwhile, you really never said anything like that, and they maligned you as a white supremacist. He's going to clutch his pearls.
He cries out in pain as he psyops you.
To like the most maximum degree, though.
Jake Lane, wow. I'm actually surprised that there was such quick action to arrest him in Pennsylvania. We have footage of the SWAT team raiding him. Where do you see this going now?
Well, we need to understand that if we allow the media and the governmental forces to continue to misalign Christian, conservative, peaceful protesters like me and call us all these type of names, bigots and hateful, they are inviting the violence. And then when they do not condemn Islamic terrorism, when they sit by and refuse to say the name of the terrorist, and he just called them counter-protesters. What kind of counter-protester brings a nail bomb and throws it at peaceful protesters? That's an act of terrorism. They're using this word salad and purposely obfuscating the truth. And that's why
they are using this word salad and purposefully obfuscating the truth. said Jake Lang, if that is his real name. Okay? That's fucking rich right there.
Jake would have had his word salad tossed if not for a J6 defendant named Daryl Neely stopping it.
Why don't you go ahead and tell me about that if you want to? If you don't want to, I understand.
I'm not an eyewitness to this, but I take my source at face value here.
Sure.
Jake has a knack for being a little bitch. So in the DC jail, people, it's not a secret that.
Are you telling me his big mouth wasn't fucking popular and people had a problem with him?
Yeah, a little bit. I know it's shocking, but this is actually after I left, and I think he was put in Gen Pop. So they originally had us segregated in a DC specific unit inside the jail, but later on he was, I guess, in general population, and the locals, the local people of DC, the young boys there, they I guess they smelled something on him they liked, and they took a fancy to him.
Come here, motherfucker! You smell good.
Listen here. I like you, and I want you. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. The choice is yours. Apparently, they wanted to do it the hard way anyway, but it was a guy, Daryl Neely, had to fight them off, and I guess that was a good thing.
So, fellas, he was also on Jesse Lee Peterson. Okay. Now, Jesse Lee Peterson's a really difficult man to trick. Okay. Jesse Lee Peterson's obviously going to be able to see through all of the tricks that Jake Lang is going to be laying down.
fabric here
So
that
somebody-
turned us in.
Oh, so some friends of yours told them who you were.
Oh, yeah. Well, on
And so
social
they
media,
went-
I was also very vocal about the deaths that occurred because a woman named Roseanne Boylan was murdered right in front of me, like virtually in my arms, Jesse. And, you know, I said I witnessed this.
Isn't it crazy that the bomb landed in his lap and she died virtually in his arms? This guy, wherever he goes, dude, God's just protecting this guy.
I mean, fucking, there's a woman who died at the Capitol, not Ashley Babbitt, a different one, where he
Correct.
was trying to break into the building. It was a woman named Roseanne Boyland.
Yep.
And she collapses, and he has lied for years, claiming that he tried to save her life and that she died in his arms, or as he would say, my loving patriotic arms, say her name. It was actually a sheriff named Ronald Maccabee, another defendant who actually showed up in our jail. He's the one who tried to give do CPR and provide aid to Roseanne Boylan to resuscitate her. It didn't end up working. She ended up passing away. But as soon as he shows up, he suddenly stops talking about it because everybody knew that it was actually Ronald Maccabee who tried to save her while Jake ran away.
He's just a fucking mimic. He'll see something and then just adapt to it, it seems like.
Ashley Babbitt, by the way, who got shot inside the Capitol, she was trying to get away from an Antifa member named Zachary Alam, who also ended up showing up inside the DC jail. Zach Alam broke the window where Ashley Babbitt was shot through the neck. When Jake went to the hole for inciting his third riot, he spends a couple months in the DC jail with Zach Alam, and when he comes back, so does Zach. These guys come back from the hole together, and Jake tries to cover up that Zach Alam was Antifa. So 2 times when some Trump supporter dies at the Capitol, he finds some way to dance on their grave.
Right. So he's an Antifa moo cosplaying as a white Christian conservative, and he's going on Alex Jones and has like an hour-long conversation with him, is what you're telling me. So we would have 2 options. Either Alex Jones knows that and is a Fed, or he's fucking retarded. So is there even a third way to really process that, right?
Yeah, well, I think it's the former, but I don't want to poison the well.
I mean, that we can get it's everything. Everything's a wormhole with this guy. I can't ask him questions. Last night off air, I was just asking him any question I wanted, and he fucking answered. Usually I ask someone a question, they go, I don't really know the answer to that. He goes, yeah, let me just pull that up. I'm like, oh fuck me. And then I learned that I can't ask him too many questions because he'll pull it up and have the receipt. It's too much. So, excuse me, I'm black and slow. Now let's listen to him talk to Jesse Peterson about being a white Christian man that's definitely not Jewish.
And, I stood up against it. That's why I was incarcerated for 4 years, because I tried to save her body that was being brutalized.
So
by
the woman
police.
that was shot there and killed, she was standing right in front of you?
So there was 4 people that died that day, which nobody really talks about. 4 unarmed Americans. One of them was Ashley Babbitt. She was shot in the throat inside the building.
Oh.
There was another young lady that died, Roseanne Boylan, that was killed via Capitol Police brutality. She was trampled. She was asphyxiated with all the CS gas and whatnot. And she's basically stuck at the bottom of a dog pile that the Capitol Police created, pushing people on top of one another. And I tried to save her life. I was unfortunately unable to, but we were basically wrestling. The Capitol Police and the J6 Patriots were kind of wrestling over this woman's lifeless body to try to save her, and they were just brutalizing her. So it's a horrific event.
And so she died.
She did die. Roseanne Boylan, yes, God rest
Oh.
her soul, gave the full measure for this country, and Ashley Babbitt as well. And 2 men that died from heart attacks because the Capitol Police were just lobbing flash grenades into the middle of this peaceful crowd. And some of the men there, they're elderly men, like just collapsed from heart attacks because you're standing there, you're at a protest, you're singing, Christian songs, you're waving your American.
At a protest, singing Christian songs, waving your American flag. It really does, once you know enough about Jake, it really sounds like a leftist saying what they think a right-winger does, right?
He's trying to be what he perceives as a right-wing caricature.
Yes.
And that's what they all did. And by the way, he's fucking lying. I just want to reiterate, he's lying about what happened there. He was
bullshit.
There. He was one of the first. So he was where Roseanne Boylan, where that situation happened. It was the Lower West Terrace Tunnel. I told you last night, this is the area where the president would come out for the inaugural speech, basically, when that happens. People were trying to force their way into this area. It's not really a tunnel, but whatever. It's a little archway. He was trying to break into there and break the doors down. He was one of the first people there. He was fighting the cops for 3 hours. The Boylan death happens in the middle of that. He likes to reframe it so he was only violent so he could save this poor innocent woman's life. That is not true. He was one of the first people there, and he was one of the last people to leave.
He loved it. He doesn't want to be alone. My God, can we just get him? I would say, can we just get him a dog? But God knows what he's gonna fucking do with it. Maybe a goldfish. We'll start him off on something just so he's not alone. The man has to exist in fucking crowds. He was just willing to go into the fucking hole as long as he got to start. Like he seems like he can't control, huh?
You said fish. That gave me another memory. But I'll let you finish.
No, go ahead.
So, a Christian Crusader here is one of the only people in the jail who got a kosher food tray. So he would get fish while everyone else was eating soy slop, and so he would hold it up in his cell window and yell through like the unit, "I got fish and you didn't."
Oh my God, dude!
An asshole. I just want to make
fucking relentless.
It's like it's not the fact that he's clearly a LARPing Jew. It's the fact that he's just a lying scumbag piece of shit.
But he likes to make you mad.
Yeah,
it's like this is where communist antagonization comes from. It was born from, I don't know, Bolsheviks. This is what the communists love to do, is to antagonize, and so that's why when they're doing these things, once I identify that it's antagonization, it doesn't bother me as much. I know it's a tactic.
American flag, and all of a sudden a flash grenade lands at your feet, blows up, and these people's hearts gave out, and it caused pandemonium in the crowd, and that's why we reacted the way.
Bomb in his lap, woman virtually in his arms, and flashbang at his feet. My God, this guy's being targeted.
We did, but history shows on January 6th that we, the people, stood together. We refused to be bullied. We refused to cower to this draconian police force that was anything but. It was Nancy Pelosi's personal stormtroopers, and she was told, she told them to fire upon these people, rile them up so that they could.
Now, sure, he tried to save a woman's life that was already dead, okay? But that's not why God made Jake Lang, if that is his real name. The reason why God created Jake Lang and protects Jake Lang is so he could save the life of a black man, okay?
Use that as a predicate to do their nefarious deed, which was refuse to decertify the election.
So did you get in a fight with the cops?
I got into a couple different tussles where, especially
at the rally,
at the Capitol. Yes, right over her body, because basically we were trying to recover it, and I had picked up a riot shield, and we were clashing.
This is interesting. Let me just get some comment, some chats here, because you brought up this concept last night to me a lot, and we didn't go too much into it. So this is actually topico. It's the night, $5. Thank you. Apostles and martyred saints beheaded, crucified, boiled in oil for proclaiming the divinity of Christ. Lang, Christ saved me from a bomb because America. Funny how his God works out, isn't it? That's a good one. Last remembered, sir, $5. Jake Lang, if that is his real name, seems to be everywhere important. Like a real life Forrest Gump. Last night you kept saying limited hangout. So is the night $2? Lang is the definition of a limited hangout. What exactly is that concept, limited hangout?
Yeah, so the idea of a limited hangout, and this is a term the feds actually use going like decades back. And essentially what it is you put basically like a front man out there to get ahead of a story. So you'll give your spin on it, and then hopefully it blows over and people will essentially be distracted from the deeper, not consequences, the deeper details of what's going on. So in this case, this fucking guy, you get the idea, but it's fuck.
Isn't it nice to not have to explain him so much once it's being shown? It's like, okay, fuck it, you get it.
It's just like, hey, if there weren't so many receipts, I would look insane, but I'm
he has shown less than 1% of the receipts, fellas. Okay.
Factual.
Actually, I should just post the document. Yeah, I'm just gonna post this in chat.
I sent you two if you're interested. I sent you the Truth Archive, that whatever. Somebody sent this to me. I can't vouch for the authenticity of everything mentioned. I think there are some assumptions in what the person posted on it, but the citations are there. The receipts are there for him apparently arriving in Washington, D.C. on J6 with a bus load of Jews from New York, like I guess an Orthodox community. For some reason.
I guess I'll check that out. I guess I'll check that out. There's a lot here.
You just use the search, just Control F and type bus. Should come up.
Look at it. Okay. Oh, a backup. Okay. What? Oh my God! Wasn't he on Viva Frey as well? Oh,
all the time.
I like Viva, but I want to like Viva Frey though.
Well, I got news for you. Do you want me to? No, I'm not going to do it to you.
Ruin it. Do it.
Okay, Viva Frey has promoted Lang for years. They have hung out together personally after he was finally released from jail. Shit! And he's been confronted by J6ers repeatedly, and he's ignored it. And then when
he's a moo though as well, Viva Frey.
Very
unfortunate.
I don't even particularly care for his legal commentary, but like when that was just what it was, when he was just talking about how there was a selective prosecution for J6ers, fair enough. But Jake was the worst representative he could have used. But then when he gets out, suddenly when he starts doing, by the way, he got out, it would have been January 2025 when everybody was released from captivity. So almost a year he was doing this bullshit out in the streets, throwing Roman salutes or whatever shit he's doing. It was only like the sixth freaking time where suddenly he's like, oh, I can't approve of that. I think when he started dropping some different N-bombs, but he had already been doing it. So he was acting stupid. So he got called out by another defendant, a friend of mine. I called him out. He doesn't respond to it. He doesn't address it. So I personally, I just think he's an opportunist.
They were affiliated with Chabad. This is, oh my God, I gotta shoot fist some of this stuff. It's like, dude, this is like so, oh my God, it's so gross. You're making it so I can't like anybody, and I love it. Thank you.
It's all of them, every single time.
It's fucking all of them.
It's all of them.
But we can trust it. But come on, hey, but he says the no words, man. Come on.
It's all about them no-nos.
Oh my dear Lord!
They
wow.
see me
You are the most polite nightmare I've ever met in my entire life. Absolutely. I wanted to like. I like to like people. Okay.
You're in the wrong industry.
I know. All right. Back to the black guy.
With the police there was women on the ground dying, and they were just mercilessly killing people. And we were trying to recover bodies, save people. I actually ended up pretty well known, saving the life of a young black man that day. One of my best friends now, Philip Anderson, he credits me with saving his life. And he was willing to testify at my trial because right next to Roseanne Boylan's body on the ground was another young man who was also unconscious.
So you fought with.
Wait a minute. So he was trying to pick up this dead woman's body while saving this black man who is now his best friend and who also credits him with saving his life. Thank you, Jesus Lord. I really appreciate you.
He just saves everybody except when he doesn't.
I'm trying to figure out how to do a Jake Lang, if it is his real name impression, where you can say whatever crazy shit you want to say as long as you end with thanking Jesus Christ. I think is I'm on my way to doing a Jake Lang impression.
The best. So when you watch him interact with with Austin Metcalf's father, when his father's like telling it, basically like he's just rambling.
What do you mean, Austin Metcalf's father? Explain who Austin Metcalf is.
Austin Metcalf was the young white high school guy from Texas.
Yep.
And he gets stabbed by another gentleman who happens to not be white, I suppose.
Also not very gentle.
It was an ungentle stabbing.
Thank you.
And the father tries to take the high road, and you could agree to disagree about that or whatever, but he's a very religiously devout person. He said he forgave the killer of his son. Jake decides to make a spectacle of it by going to Texas and staging a Save White Americans rally and trying to recruit the father to recant and calling him a weak man.
How long it would take to show you all of this? Okay, we had to do a cursory overview, okay, and then possibly select a handful of these things. Oh my God, dude. The guy's grieving. Dude, but he always just showed he's always there, right? He's always at these events. Where does he get the money to do this?
Well, that's the fucking interesting thing. If you go through the article and you do Control F, if you just type in give, send, go, you're gonna see how many grifts this dude has scammed millions. I mean, millions of dollars at it since J6 onward. I'm not even counting his old scams from before J6. So he, in theory, was raising money for J6 lawyers. Not true. He created a scam, a scam to send Bibles to Ethiopian children, or it might have been Ugandans. Excuse me. He was sending Bibles to African kids. Supposedly, please donate. Please clap.
Maybe we should ask Edward Lang, that is his real name, which taxpayer-funded NGO laundered him nearly $225,000. It just gets dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. This is fucking filthy. Anyway, back to Jesse Lee Peterson, where it's safe, where my feelings are safe. Oh, let me go back to my slop.
With the cop.
I would say that we defended ourselves from an onslaught that the Capitol Police were baton death marching on us. So no, I didn't fight with anybody, but they were aggressive towards us, and we have the right to self-defense.
And that's why they arrested you?
Yes, that's why they arrested me.
Oh, I got it.
Yep.
And so, but they didn't arrest you that same day.
No.
They came later, got you.
Yeah, the FBI.
So you were home. Were you expecting them?
I had an understanding that because of my role on January 6th and how vocal I was on social media, that they would be coming soon. I actually went with my phone one morning. I woke up on January 16th and everything was like wiped on my phone. Like my social media accounts were all down. My network connection on my phone was, and I was like,
yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, that happens to everybody. Their phone just magically wipes.
Well, I mean,
before they get arrested.
We can find old websites and old, like, there's trails of him all over the internet. I don't think your shit just disappears, dude.
His stories about how he was acquired by the feds change depending on when he's telling them. So this is an interesting take.
Very nice.
Federal maximum security penitentiary, which is a prison, ended up in Brooklyn, New York, which is the most dangerous prison in America, where P. Diddy was, where El Chapo's nephew was, R. Kelly. So they moved me around from the DC jail all across the country, and it's called diesel therapy. It's like a torture technique, so that you never really kind of settle into a place. Your family doesn't know where you are. So in the middle.
Holy shit. The fellas are starting to pick up on some shit. Arden Barty. Does this stupid motherfucker think there's such a thing as a Bataan Death March? That's from the Second World War, the Bataan Death March, which was an ordeal the Allied POWs went through. Fucking hell. He even fucking stole that.
I was going to reference that, but I'm like, I didn't
There's
want to.
too much.
They're literally he even earlier he was saying, yeah, they were killing people left and right. I'm like, one person died and you did not help them. But
and
how many
he
people do you
said
think died?
that 4 people died,
which is true,
right?
But not where he
left
was. Like, and he did, and his motivation was not those 4 people dying. He was like, it's just it never stops.
The night they just tell you.
Actually, let's go to his very solemn time in prison.
Plea deal, right? All this will end. You'll be able to go home. You'll be able to get a much easier time. And so you have to have courage in these situations to say, my integrity is worth more than, selling out and saving my own skin.
So let me ask, so they transfer you to all the different prisons. And so your lawyer found you by calling the prison to say, where's my client?
Sometimes that, or sometimes you would get a phone.
So his claim right now is he's moved around so much. His family doesn't know where he is. His lawyer doesn't know where he is. He's getting moved around that much. Okay.
You know why a defendant in federal custody might get moved around that much?
Because to keep them safe from everybody wanting to kill them?
That's certainly one explanation for their protection, because they're in protective custody. Another is because they are a confidential source, which those two things can be both true at the same time.
Oh, is it kind of like shipping them around to get info from other people?
Pretty fucking much. Yeah, to be eyes on the ground. Keep in mind, he's the only... I arrived with him to DC from the Northern Neck, Virginia jail on February 3rd of 2021. We arrived together. He was my cellmate in Virginia. We came to DC together.
We're going to have to, I have to start working on the James Lindsay stream in probably less than a half an hour, but we're going to have to devote a whole fucking stream to you being his roommate. I think.
Oh God.
Yeah.
You're
I'm sorry,
fucking...
but please, I'm thinking out loud. I'm sorry. See, I can't say anything. Okay, Nick. Okay. Go ahead.
Just fucking ear fucking me till 3 a.m, bragging about how he fucking slept with thousands of prostitutes. Like, thank you. Let me sleep, please.
Oh my god. And he has so on one hand he has a fiance, and on the other hand he was texting a 15-year-old. But all of these things always just go away for him. It really is Kabbalistic. He really is mystical with how he just all of a sudden is able to do these things.
And it's interesting too that he was he was basically posing as the love interest of the anti-Zionist influencer Morgan Ariel, and or Ariel Morgan, whatever the fuck that bitch's name is. And it's just like, well, that's super interesting. You start a clothing line together, you do all this together, and you were clearly Semitic. So it's kind of weird. Who's paying who to do what now? It's super weird. You would have her photo in his window, and just like the amount of fake romantic interest he had. But anyway, that's a story.
I know, but what's funny is that Semitic isn't really even a word. Do you know that? It's not really even a concept.
Yeah, it's a linguistic group. Arabs are Semitic, right? Like it's complete. But
I think it's funny how 3% of Semites managed to overtake the entire term, but also how he's getting direct funding from Moose, dude. That now you're making me do boy. Oh, he's getting Move funding. Oh, it's dirty.
Well, again, we got to take everything with a grain of salt. I cannot confirm nor deny he's getting I don't know, the funding from a certain state, but
but like, it's embarrassing at this point to not believe something about him.
Oh no, there's
like at this point, you're actually better believing something about him than being incorrect, because you have a 99% hit ratio of being correct if you just believe it about him.
Yeah, there's certainly nothing normal about any of it. It's certainly not normal. It's just one of those Rumsfeld things. That's an unknown.
Well, what's not normal about him is how many days he spent in solitary confinement. Are you ready? You ready?
Oh,
You're sitting down? Okay.
Well, when you first get to a prison, right? Sometimes they would bring you to a room that had a phone. You put in your prison pin. You call your lawyer, like, "Hey, I'm in Oklahoma," or "Hey, I'm in West Virginia," wherever you are. And so, and for your family to be, for the first, not many people know this. I did 900 days of solitary confinement, Jesse.
You was in solitary confinement for 900 days?
Yes, sir. 900
days. Confinement means nobody around, right?
Oh my God, Jesse, Jesus Christ, fucking solitary confinement. What the fuck do you think it means? Oh God, he really is. He must have loved going on this show talking to Jesse Lee Peterson. He's like, oh, I can fucking throw anything over his head. Now, solitary confinement, that means that nobody's allowed to join you inside of the jail now, correct? Yes, Jesse, confined.
Now,
900 days. Do you challenge that?
Now you were in prison, and you're saying that this was after you were at the riot, and you a man for that, or you a woman?
You a lesbian. Lesbian. So do you contest that 900 days in solitary confinement?
I contest it in the sense
he had to do his own shit.
He like what? It depends on what solitary confinement even is, because if we're talking about the times,
what do you think he means?
I think he means that he, for some reason, and this is why I mentioned I arrived to DC with him. We came together. Why wasn't I sent all over across the fucking country? Why wasn't Mike Curzio? Why wasn't Jeffrey Sable? Why weren't all the people who came in that time span, who spent years in DC, not shipped around the country? It's because, one, he kept getting his ass beat, or fights got instigated because of him. Two, because he's a fucking troublemaker and always incites riots. So he would either be held in detention, basically, because he's a bad kid.
Dude, even just you saying that, he's like, I have fish and you don't. It's like, dude, shut the dude. Aren't you afraid? Does he like getting hit?
Honestly,
does he like pain? Does he like getting struck? Because like he's putting himself in these dangerous situations now with protests.
So here's an interesting dichotomy. Like, yes, he would instigate, but those would be coordinated instigations. The times where he just ran his mouth and didn't expect to get fucked up, that's where you see. Here's an example. My buddy Pete, his wife got breast cancer, and they wouldn't let him make phone calls while he was locked up to check on her.
Holy
and so
shit.
she ended up leaving him. And
holy shit,
it was really fucked up. And so we had these things you could order in the on the commissary, like a little tiny FM radio that you could listen to talk news or some bullshit on. So Jake has one because of course he does. He can afford it. He ends up giving one to Pete Schwartz. I said give, almost said lend, because he gives Pete this fucking radio. He could definitely buy a new one. Months down the line, he comes up to Pete because he wants to give that radio to another person instead. So he's basically Indian giving. I don't know if I could say that, but and so Pete's like,
I'll allow it.
Pete's like, you gave this to me. You didn't lend this to me. He's just, oh, come on, Pete. I helped you out so much, especially when your wife left you. And Pete saw the war and whack, he smacked a fucking coffee cup right out of Jake's fucking hand. Coffee went right in his fucking face, and Jake's face went white as chalk.
Yeah.
He was not expecting that, and he was scared shitless.
Oh, he's good for the planned violence, but not when actually unplanned violence happens.
100%.
Like.
Yeah.
Interesting.
A room by yourself?
Yes, most of the time, 23 hours a day inside a cell without any human contact. The only time you get to see another person is 3 times a day when they open up this little doggy door in the bottom of your cell, slide the food in. I lived for years without a chair in my cell, without sunlight. I ate my meals off the floor.
He lived for okay. Now let's try and imagine what he means by solitary confinement with the more information that he gave us. He lived for years without a chair in his room. Now, what do you think he means by solitary confinement when he says he lived for a year without a chair in his room?
Which is a lie, because you have built-in stools.
Actually, if he moves around so much, how could he be in, like, do they move you from solitary confinement to isn't the point of solitary confinement that you're not moving around a lot?
Well, yeah, it's you just stay in your cell. You never get out to make a phone call. You never get recreation time. You don't get
right. But why would they move you around? He said 17 times he was moved around.
Because he's
solitary confinement to
they bring him from.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they bring him from one facility to another. He acts up again. He gets moved again, or he does typical he would do interviews despite being in solitary confinement. He's done thousands of interviews.
Oh my god! He's actually admitted to doing. Oh, see, it's shit like this that I've done with other people that you've already done with him, where you can cross-reference it. Right now, if he's made this claim, you could easily find an interview he did from prison to go against what he said.
Right.
Yeah.
I sent you one more last thing that you can look at after this. The just the thing with the BOP registry thing, just so we can show that one of these things is not like the others in terms of J6ers.
Which one is it? The last one you sent me?
The last thing I sent, yeah, it says photo 1.
Okay, cool. I just want to see. I would be remiss to not show everyone how he baptized ISIS members in prison. Okay, mind you, he had just become Christian when. How long had he been Christian for before he started baptizing people?
If he ever was, I mean, he claims all kinds of things. He claims that he was baptized Catholic. He knows nothing about Catholicism. He claims that he was saved and became evangelical. Judaism? He claims he became evangelical basically like right before January 6th, maybe a couple months before.
Holy shit, dude. That is exactly what he said in this interview. That's exactly what I heard him say today. Fuck, dude, you're good. So yeah, he gets a couple months before, he's all of a sudden Christian, and then he's baptizing people a fucking year later in prison.
He's a New York shyster, drug addict, bar hopping, whoremongering, scumbag, snitch, piece of shit con artist, and suddenly he finds God and he's the leader of America. That doesn't sound weird at all.
It's so New York in a way, isn't it? That is very New York shysty. Let's get into it.
Did my push-ups. I read my Bible. I thank God every day for his presence and his love of Jesus Christ that maintained my spirit, maintained my sanity in those circumstances. And, sometimes prisoners in that circumstance, sometimes they break down. But for me, I just saw it as this adversity that I had to overcome because my country needed, patriots to stand tall in the face of tyranny.
That's when you found Jesus in solitary?
I had gotten deeply intimate with my Lord and Savior then, but not then. I had been baptized a couple months before January 6th.
Oh, so you already found Jesus before you went
Yeah,
into
but there's no
solitary.
such thing as, it's like going from kindergarten to college, right? You just sit in your cell all day reading your Bible, and God's Spirit just pours out on you. And so I got to know him very well. He was my only friend for many years, and I'm happy to say that too.
So what were you doing in confinement when you were alone like that? And you were just working out and praying and reading the Bible?
Yeah, and so you have other inmates that are in the same unit, so you could talk to each other through just screaming underneath your door or talking to each other through the air vent. So I took it upon myself to do Bible studies, right?
Talking to each other through the air vent, is that a thing?
It is. We called it vent. We called it vent talk. So you had your cells are basically divided by cinder block walls, and imagine 4 cells, 2 at the bottom and then 2 on top of them.
Yeah.
The 2 on the bottom would have a vent in their top corner that connected them, and this would connect the other 2 above them. So 4, and it would alternate. So he would, yeah, basically you could do that, yeah. And yeah.
I can't trust a word he's fucking saying, so I have to ask you.
Yeah, but he's also lying about the Bible study thing. But it's not funny.
Okay, I knew it was in there somewhere. I knew the whole thing couldn't be true.
He did not run a Bible study. He ran a cult.
Well, why are you saying cult?
Because it was called the Temple of Israel. He started his own religion. And he rewrote the book of Psalms.
Wait, so
like David's Psalms, he rewrote his own book of Psalms.
Timeline. As a Christian, he did this technically. As a Catholic, he did this. Is what
he was never. Let me just cut to he was never really a Christian. He would alternate. I told you he would go back and forth. Oh, I'm
as
Christian.
the lore goes, I'm trying to establish the proposed lore.
Here, let me find the Temple of Israel.
Oh God, here, fellas, do you see what I'm saying? Do you see how long the stream could be? Do you see what I'm saying? This was last night, dude. It was fucking receipt. I haven't even asked him. He's so used to having to prove shit where he's like, I fucking got that right here, motherfucker.
Here, the last thing I have right now, that's Jake having a BOP ID before January 6th, showing he's a former defendant or
which
whatever.
is right here.
Yes, on the left.
Would you like to explain these?
Yeah. So if you look at the last 3 digits, all of us right here, me, Jeff Sable, Pat McCoy, and Jake, we all got picked up by the U.S. Marshals together in January of 2021, and they moved us to Virginia and then Washington, D.C. jail. All right. 509. All of us end in 509 except Jake Lang. His ID number ends in 054. He has a prior case from before January 6th with the Bureau of Prisons or the feds. Because these numbers didn't start getting used until 2020 or during the COVID era. Originally, the last 3 represented where your federal district was out of. So Jake has 054. That was the old code for the Southern District of New York. That's where he's from. I'm from Jersey, and mine is the same as everybody else's. So that's that. Now, the last thing I sent you. Oh yeah, this is from his motions. His lawyer published this right here, and he talks about how he had 2 open cases against him from 2 different states at the time he was filing.
Holy shit, dude!
Nobody can seem to figure this. Nobody seems to have found this except for me for some reason.
Yeah, that's dirty, dog. That's real dirty, dog. Let me pull it up.
So I just sent you the last thing here. I sent you is these are his little. We called these Lang's Lucky Fortunes. Basically, he would take a entire notepad of paper. He would write down a random Bible verse, scribble them out, and then.
Dude, this is fucking psycho. This is like unnervingly mentally ill right now.
Look in the bottom right corner how he signs his name.
What, here?
Look at the signature. What do you notice at the bottom?
Yisrael.
That's his name. He calls him. Yep. He's the Temple of Israel. He was renamed by God.
This is incredible.
And he would write the exact same verse and note for every single person. That's how inauthentic it was. And if you go to the last one, he stopped even putting people's names because that was too much work. So in the last one,
great question. How did you get these notes?
I fucking saved that shit because I knew, and I told you this before, Ardy, I knew people would call me fucking insane or a liar if I didn't fucking have this shit. They would think I'm just making this shit up or it's just drama or I'm just a salty motherfucker.
Well,
this
did
is
you
all
have,
real.
Did you have a cell phone? How did you take a picture of it, or how did you retrieve it?
No, I have this. I physically have this. This this paper. I scanned all this shit when I got out of prison.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Actually, let's wind down. Let's wind down with a chat right now. I do have to piss, and I do have to do. I have to watch a James Lindsay I had to watch a 2-hour James Lindsay stream for a second time. Okay.
When we had when we have to take a shit in the DC jail, we used to call it dropping a Jake. I had to take a Jake, guys. Give me 1 second.
The only time I've heard that joke is when I was at a baseball game with my dad, and there was the Baltimore Orioles, and the guy's name was Matos. We were in the outfield, and he was heckling. If you can believe it, my dad used to heckle people all the time. And he goes, "Somebody hold my seat. I gotta take a Matos," just to get in the guy's fucking head. That's how you hit someone.
He's such a heckler. He's such a spam artist.
A spam artist. I'm just looking through chat right now if anybody has any questions for Homeboy. I mean, you could probably just say something about Jake off the top of your head.
He stinks, and I hate him.
You think Jake, if that's his real name, brings his index cards for all the weird talking points? Like Tom Myers. Is that Tom Myers? Is that the redheaded Tom Myers? Is that WATP Tom Myers? No, I think that he has everything. Well, I can't even say memorized because he doesn't even know what he's going to say, right?
It depends, because like he's a certifiable retard. So his second riot he incited.
Retard.
Wait, what?
I wouldn't call him a retard because like I guess I can't be that retarded, right? Because he's able to do something that's like very, I want to say unique. It seems like he plans stuff, but he actually doesn't plan anything. It's so hard to pin it down.
He's just, again, it's just persistence. It's just that sociopathic inability or unwillingness to just take no for an answer. That's why he tried to rape someone. So I'm sorry, grape.
No, you're fine. So what happened?
Rapist.
So he
tried to drug the okay. So there's a J6 defender. Her name was Riley Williams, and last August, he tried to spike her drink, but he got caught, and he kind of incurred the wrath of a lot of other Pennsylvania J6ers. So like his whole history, if you look at it, he is a predator. He's always been a predator. That's why he had a domestic from Nicole Culvaney, or his ex from New York. He just does not know when to quit. He doesn't take no for an answer.
Well, but he enjoys bothering people, though.
He's a pest. He's
Statutory Jake. There we go.
I like that. That's nice. He's a statutory Jakist.
He is a Jakist. So there's a narcissist. This is on a whole nother level, though. There's narcissists that don't cause nearly as much damage and destruction as this guy.
Because they probably have to go to work.
I know, right? I know, but what is he? He really just he only gets money by ill-gotten means, like a fucking okay. He only gets money by ill-gotten means, which can only mean one thing.
Oh, you're on the payroll of the Jews.
What else would it be? How else is he staying alive?
He is. It's even at being as charitable as possible. He is doing this sort of. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. He pays influencers to promote his bullshit so it goes viral. He goes viral. That allows him to fundraise off of mooks. They give him money that allows him to continue living out there as a professional provocateur. He engages in another PSYOP, false flag thing. It causes outrage. He goes viral again, yada, yada. So as far as I can tell, Wall Street Apes,
I noticed that a lot. When I was researching.
There's a bunch of these larger accounts that are just like I call them the pay to play guys. So they're always promoting his dog shit.
True, dog. Well, fellas, all I'm saying is, okay, Here's the point that I'm trying to make. I have so many tabs open right now. This is dangerous. Try and find I'm supposed to be to make my little joke. It's not even that one. It's not even that one. What I'm trying to say is, okay, when we're doing the so what's your solution, right? And you might see a guy on the internet that's saying some pro-white stuff, some I hate the moose, some the blacks are dumb stuff, and you go, see, that guy's actually out there doing something, dripping head to toe in Fed. Like, can you think of someone doing anything like what Jake Lang is doing that like isn't how can you do what Jake Lang is doing and not be a Fed? Because even the people that are pro-white, right? They know that you can't even rhetorically be anti-other people. The only thing you can do is be like, no, we're just pro ourselves and we're just, self-segregating, which like you're allowed to do in a liberal society. But that's what you see with like actual pro-white collectivist organizations, which is what I started noticing. Where I'm like, okay, I don't think like Eric Arval or Thomas Rousseau are going to be advocating for any violence at all whatsoever. So this is odd. Like none of those movements ever actually advocate for violence, and because it would be Fed posting. Do you see how this is circular and how it's breaking my brain at this point? Because this is now apparently just like what a faction of the right is that we're not calling Feds.
I think it's important too to recognize that social media is the new media, obviously. So it's like cable and print are dying mediums. So the modern day Mockingbird is going to be social media. And it's important to remember, like, the right has always, again, this is why I told you, I don't believe in the left right, dichotomy. I think it's always been a false dichotomy since the French Revolution. I think when you look back and you look at like, who are the big people in right wing circles back in the day, like William F. Buckley, the guy was a CIA asset. He was a CIA agent. So, I mean, like the intellectual giant of right wing discourse was a literal CIA spook. It's always been like that. And people have just taken that for granted because they thought that the Feds were like the good guys, defending the homeland from the Soviets or whatever. And so I just think it's important for people to realize it's always kind of been like this. It's just really bad now because social media has allowed these Feds to get into everybody's house, everybody's mind through their fucking cell phone.
To like get up off their ass, like how Jake Lang, if that is his real name, likes to do. But now they can be very, very lazy with it and infiltrate communities online, right? And which ones are they going to go toward? Ones that are advocating for the exact things that fucking Jake Lang is advocating for, dude. I hate to beat you over the head with it, but I really wanted to cover it to make this point crystal clear.
I think another thing too, I always point this out. It's not just the right, in the day it was the civil rights movement, the anti-war movement, it was the unions and stuff. They infiltrate everything. So like I always point out, the Feds have infiltrated the Ku Klux Klan and the civil rights movement, and you can't get more diametrically opposed than those two things. What do you think they won't be able to get into to take over or set people up? You got to realize it. They got nothing better to do. That's their entire existence is based on fucking us.
And it seems like, well, yeah, but even if but there's people that certainly act like they understand that, right? And then we're behaving a little bit differently on the internet. I'm like, okay, do we get what's going on or not? Do we agree that Feds and CIA have their hands in a lot of things, and so publicly, why would you be espousing this? But I guess we can't call it. Do we need a new word since Fed posting has been like ruined at this point? Since it's just Fed jacketing, calling something a Fed, even calling for fucking violence for a white revolution is like, oh, really? That's Fed posting. It's like, what's a crazier example to me?
I miss glow in the dark. Whatever. I miss calling people glowies. That was always fun to me. I sent you one last thing. If you want to close it out with this, I got one a funny story. It's not funny. It was just horrifying, and it was just like
well, hey, if it's not funny, it has to be funny. Okay.
This is his recollection. One version of how he was picked up after J6. He was a good boy walking back from church, literally, and. He's talking about, I very respectfully berated the FBI. This is like this dumb bullshit. I very respectfully berated them for 2 hours because they're tyranny. 1776. So that I shared you that just to maybe give a little support to what I'm about to tell you, because this is anecdotal. When we were being transferred by the marshals between facilities, there were actually some very nice officers that were driving us around to one jail, and they actually supported us. They were like, hey, just if we weren't working that day, we'd probably be right there back, in the seat right next to you. We probably would have ended up with you too, because unfortunately we had to work that day. So we're not all on the same side, let's say. And they were actually very generous to us. They played music for us. They were kind to us. And Jake, instead of just taking what few W's we could get while we were in captivity, he tried to stage a breakout. He tried to stage a jailbreak.
It's never enough. It's never enough for these people.
Motherfucker could have gotten us shot, and he kept yelling at the officers saying that they were traitors if they didn't help us break out. And me and the others
yelling at him to shut the fuck up to show that, hey, we don't claim this motherfucker.
Exactly. Yeah, we're like, dude, shut the fuck up. What's wrong with you? They're never gonna let us go. Why would you even try that? Are you insane? And this is, I just met him. This was January of 2021.
What an introduction.
Yeah,
that's how the movie would start, and the record scratch.
You're probably wondering how I got in this position.
That's exactly where it would go.
Yeah,
because we've set up the tone of the character for the rest of the movie right there.
And so I don't know. That was just a funny, fucked up story. Like this was basically from the very beginning. It was 0 to 100 from the get go, and he's never gonna moderate this shit. This is the real Slim Shady or Fed Shady. It's always worse than it looks. So don't ever get comfortable with this guy. I could literally talk for hours about this guy.
We can agree, be skeptical of people that are working with him, right?
100%. I can count on one hand the amount of people who have apologized or recognized that he was dirty.
But by the time, this is the issue with people like this. By the time you realize it, it's too late. You have to never engage, because by the time you're working with the person, however in deep you are, whatever favor you owe him, or if he has your fucking phone number and won't stop calling you, that's when you realize that you shouldn't have, and it's too late because you're already having to fucking deal with him.
He had that skank Mindy Robinson promoting his militia and shit. She was supposed to be like the Nevada state commander or some bullshit. His fucking militia. There's no shortage of rubes who will, and I confronted her. I'm like, this is a setup, right? She's like, we have nothing to hide. I'm like, please don't vote ever.
Reducing the voting pool would be good. Speaking of which, friend of Andrew Wilson, made by Jim Bob, is having a debate on evolution right now, which I also do enjoy watching. That is where I'm going to send you fellas. Tim, do you have any parting words for the fellas right now?
Thanks for listening to my rambling. Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see, and keep in touch with yourselves.
Fuck yeah, dude. Have a good night, fellas. Thanks for hanging out, Timbo. Tim, hell no, when he got them receipts, boy, I'll tell you.